see it, but other people may want to.
So I am having technical difficulties with my old headset
That's all right.
that John was using. So I am putting the Twitch up for him so he can hear everybody, and then I'll try to use just pass my headset back and forth as needed.
Cool. No worries.
Till next week, he'll get another one.
Mm-hmm. No worries, man. All right, all right. It's gonna be a fun night. No idea what we're doing, but I'll figure it out as we go.
It depends.
Yeah. I can promise you one thing and one thing only. There's probably not going to be a TPK tonight. After tonight, though, all bets are off.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Since he can almost guarantee no TPK tonight.
Almost. Statistically speaking, it's not very often that it happens on the first session. Hey,
That's Sean speaking.
That's me speaking.
I got Twitch up on the TV in here, so
Oh,
you can
nice.
see that too.
Nice. Look at you guys.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I'm a little perturbed that I can't get my headset, the old headset, to work.
Should have said something, man. We could have all pitched in and got you one. Always waiting to the last minute, AK. All right. For those that don't know, usually a couple minutes before the stream's supposed to start, I actually go out there and essentially it's to do sound checks, make sure that the audio is coming through, etc. Make sure that I can be heard, make sure that you can be heard. Make sure that you can be heard. So hopefully it'll come through tonight. It sounds a little soft. I haven't done anything with my sound setting, so everything's all the way up according to
your
this.
Voice is a little soft. I had to go into the program and turn you up to 180%.
You know, I wonder if it had to do with anything with my gain. How's that? Any better?
You sound louder than me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to turn my gain up too much because then all of a sudden you guys start hearing my TV from the other room. So anyway, like I said, usually what I do is I'll go in like anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes before the stream starts. We'll open it up out there, and that way, number one, people get a notification that we're on. So if they want to come watch, they can. Number two is, like I said, so I just do sound checks, make sure everything. And then usually right at 7:30 our time, Eastern, for those that are in the Eastern time zone, I kick off the stream. Now, you guys may not hear it over Discord, but if you're out on the stream, there's a whole intro thing going on. So usually takes about 3 minutes, so enjoy. And even my buttons worked. So it switched me over and we're here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Agora Quest, our brand new stream, our brand new campaign, Savage Tide. Welcome to all the newbies. And welcome to the old guys like Monkey's already out there dropping icons on us. Dude, stop. Okay, just stop. We know you miss us. We know you would love to be in here, but I don't know, man. I just don't feel like having another Monkey Boogers in my channel. So, but anyway, appreciate you guys, and especially you, Monkey. Appreciate you. If you're new here, like I said, welcome, old hands. Welcome back. We are starting our brand new campaign tonight, as I said, our Savage Tide. And if you've never seen it, good. If you've never read it, even better. If you don't know anything about it, we're getting even more fun because it's a really, really great campaign. Something that was in Dungeon magazines a while back, and I mean quite a while back. As a matter of fact, if you watch our Monday game, that's our Age of Worms. Age of Worms was actually the predecessor to this campaign that they put out in Dungeon magazine back then, and that was a 12-part series, and it ended, and then this one was the next one that they wrote. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. I hope my players enjoy it. Players, if you have any of the old Dungeon magazines, you are not allowed to read anything about this game. And if you do, that's okay. It doesn't matter because dice rolls will always be the victor. So it doesn't really matter. So folks out there watching, don't forget, as you're watching, you earn tokens. You can always trade those tokens in for nat 1s and nat 20s. Typically, they are only good for the stream that you donate them. And what does that mean for those that are new? What that means is that you can donate a natural 1 or a natural 20 to a party member or to me, your humble DM, because as I always say, I would never deny you the opportunity to provide me gifts. But with that said, players can use those to replace any dice roll for any action, or they could replace my dice roll. So for example, if you, our wonderful audience, were nice enough to donate say a natural 1 to the party, and somebody has that on hand, and I happen to hit them with a crit 20 during an attack, they could replace my dice roll with that nat 1, and that nat 20 goes away. Vice versa, if you give them a nat 20 and they really need a save, then you see where we're going here. So yeah, any dice roll that requires a check, whether it's a skill check, saving throw, attack, whatever it may be, you can use it if you have it on hand. And of course, currently we just got started, so nobody has anything on hand because I'm not that nice. I'm not going to give anybody nat 20s and stuff just to start off. However, if you want to help support the stream in some way, because every penny that you guys donate to us goes right back into the stream in some way, shape, or form, whether that is hosting of the VTT, the content with the Patreons that I subscribe to get all of the cool ass maps and all the other stuff that goes along with it. Every 200, man, I'm losing track of games here. For every 200 bits that you cheer, you can grant advantage to the player or DM. And those do carry over from stream to stream. So if you want to hoard them like Monkey used to last stream, nobody would have anything, but Monkey would have like 10 because he never used them. And then he used them all in like the last session when they were fighting not Vecna, but the dragon. So yeah, so those do carry over stream to stream because if you are going to spend your hard-earned coin to help support us, then I am not going to take them away from the player at the end of the session. So because I am such a nice and wonderful and player-friendly DM, as of right now, everybody starts a campaign with 1 advantage. And so that means that you can, anytime that you're allowed to use advantage on a roll, you can use one of your advantages. Let's say you don't have advantage, or even if you did. If you had 10 advantages, that means you could potentially try 10 times before you get it right. Because it's not just you can only use it once. It's however many you have, so they can stack up. Now, there is a little caveat to all of this goodness that I've been saying. Players, you cannot donate to yourselves or a party member in this game. If you want to come to our Monday game and drop all kinds of nat 1s and nat 20s on people, more power to you. But for this game, you're just going to have to suck it up. And if you watch the stream, you earn a butt ton of points. And Monkey used to be in both my games, so he couldn't donate to anybody. And then finally, when the one game ended and he was out of it, he was dropping bombs on people. So I guess it worked itself out after 4 years of stockpiling. But the bottom line is, if you want to help support stream, go ahead and do it that way. Also, don't forget that we do have a tip jar. If you're not I know you can subscribe to channels in Twitch, but if that's not your thing, if you don't like trying to remember that, oh crap, when is my subscription up or when does it renew? Because they get you that way, right? You subscribe, but they don't tell you it's an auto renewal. You have to go in and manually tell them you don't want to renew. But anyway, if you don't like that sort of thinking of that way, we do have a tip jar. You just go to our homepage, twitch.tv/AgoraQuest. There's a tip jar on there. And the best part about that is Twitch doesn't get its grubby little fingers on it. It's all between you and the content provider. So I'm not even talking about myself. If there's a content provider on Twitch that you really like their content and they got a tip jar, use it because they get all the money. Twitch doesn't. When you subscribe and cheer and all that stuff, we get a certain amount depending upon what level you are, whether you're like us, which is peons, or if you're I can never remember the name of it, but you're one of the big dogs. Twitch only gets 40% of their money. They get 50% of ours. So it's a 50-50 split whenever you're cheering and subscribing and stuff. But a tip jar, you go in and it's just a contract between you and the content provider, and they get like a 1% fee or whatever it is that, like I use PayPal. So when you go to our tip jar and you go to pay, it should go through PayPal, and they take out like 1% or something like that. So Troy came in and donated enough money for me to buy this stream deck, and it took out a few bucks. A couple of our players have come through and donated to us. Thank you very much. And they took out like $1 or whatever it was. So yeah, it's a great way to support whatever content you like out on Twitch. And so yeah, I encourage you to do that. And last but not least, of course, as always, if you like Greyhawk like we like Greyhawk, and all of our games are always in Greyhawk, go check out the Greyhawk Creative team page out on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/team/Greyhawk Creative. You go check them all out. There's like, I don't know, maybe 20 different channels on Twitch. Lord Kazumba is the one. He is a partner, so he's the one that created the family channels, I like to call it. And we all kind of fall under that umbrella. And it's just a really great way for like-minded content providers. A lot of those guys may not be specific in Greyhawk, but they have Greyhawk ties in some way, shape, or form. So I encourage you to go check them out, see if you like them, give them a follow. It's not like you got to subscribe to them either, right? They got a lot. Mike Disney is one of my favorite. I got some of his art hanging up on my wall. It's pretty awesome. Go check him out. Anna Meyer, she who made the amazing World of Greyhawk maps, amazing. Go check her out. Lord Kazumba, who's like got his finger on the pulse of the old school industry, and he's out there with all the movers and shakers, the Paisano guys, Eric Mona, who did Age of Worms, some of the old original TSR folks from back when TSR first started. He's got them on his channel all the time. So there's so much good content. I could sit here and talk about it all night, but I know you don't want to hear that. You want to hear, what are we doing for our players tonight? Well, before we do, ! Socials. If you haven't already done that, I'm going to do it right now. Sometimes I have a rolling thing that goes through every once in a while and does things. But if you hit ! Socials, that'll give you all the different places you can go check us out. In particular, our YouTube channel. Go check out all of the VOD content, because Twitch only keeps our streams here for a week. After a week, they go away. So usually at the end of every stream, I will post it over to YouTube. It takes a couple hours for it to filter all down and for them to go through it and make sure I don't got a lot of content that's not supposed to be on there. But you can go there and you can see all of our Age of Worms stuff. You can see our 1E1 shots, which was our old first edition campaign that just concluded. I think Snake, if you're still here, he's out there watching. Like, he's got one more episode to go, and then he'll be able to catch up with us live. It's always nice to find people that enjoy our content and are at least seem to be excited about it. And then you can go check out our old 5e game. Started out as Perrinland Adventures, and it wound up being called The Heroes of Christchurch. That's the campaign that this is replacing every other Friday. And see how I did that? We have all come full circle. So I'd like to welcome everybody here. And then especially, I would like to welcome players, guys. Appreciate you guys all jumping on the bandwagon. I don't know what you've heard about our game table or anything like that, but I assure you it's all lies. We are a well-oiled machine here at Agora Quest. Just go watch any of our old streams and you will know that we work like clockwork. And so, it's a big difference from when I say, if you want to see how not to game at a table on a VTT, come watch us, because we are a shit show. But anyway, I want to welcome you guys. Hopefully everybody is able to get into Forge. I see right now there's only 3 of us in there besides myself. So if you have not logged into your Forge, I'm going to need you guys to do that, because that's where the game actually happens. If you, I always tell people, as far as players, go check out the Twitch stream. Just because a lot of times, if you can't see something or something's going on with the VTT, you can at least follow along out on the stream. But that is in no way meaning you have to go out there. A lot of people don't like to, because it's just too much to follow along. So Discord and Forge are the 2 things that you're definitely going to need. Obviously Discord for audio, and the VTT out on Forge for everything else. So sweet, people are logging in. Look at there. See, Mace, you're in there. AK's in there. Kyle's in there. John, you're in there. So looks like we got one more that we're waiting on. So Gage, as soon as you get in there, I think. Oh, never mind. Kyle's in there. Duh. Who are we missing? Jordix. Just waiting on Jordix to get in there. So what is on the agenda for tonight? So typically our streams run from 7:30 p.m. Eastern till give or take about 11 Eastern. If you're old and you get tired, it's understandable. I try to kill it right at that time frame. A lot of times we end a little early, but as a expectation, players, that is what you can expect. Who joined? Who'd we get? Hey, JB, what's up, brother?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Fantastic. Are you hearing echo?
Yeah, if you're watching the stream, or
Not.
I think it's coming through Kyle's. So it looks like when I'm talking, the feedback's coming through Kyle. So Kyle, I don't know if you want to mute yourself, because it seems to be coming back through the headphones. Not really sure. But let's see. Let's mute Kyle to see if he notices. All right, can you hear me now? Ooh, that wasn't Kyle. Mm-hmm. All right, so it might be AK or John. I'm not sure if it might be coming back through you guys because you're watching it on TV or something.
No, the TV's muted.
Okay, so I don't know where the echo's coming from. I've got my Twitch stream muted, and that's the other thing that it can be. If you are watching the VOD, the stream on Twitch, you need to mute Twitch, because otherwise it'll come back through your headphones and it comes back through our audio. So I don't know who. I think it stopped. Yeah, it did. So whoever did whatever, you did it. Nope, did not. Damn it. What the hell?
That was me. Okay. So.
Who was that? You, JB?
Voice suppression is.
Or is that Kyle?
Studio input. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to mute your. Yeah, I guess you may have to mute the mic. So anyway, so hopefully it'll go away and it won't bother people too badly. But I want to go over the first thing I plan to do to go over tonight. Literally is the game itself and the house rules and stuff. I know that we have discussed some things already, but I do want to go through the house rules just so everybody is on the same page. If you did not get a chance to look at them, I do apologize. I did post it up in the channel on Discord. Encourage you to go check that out. Hey, Snake, dude, man, appreciate you. Appreciate you able to make it. So the first thing that I want to talk about as far as house rules go is the resting thing. As a general rule, in order to avoid the 5e situation where you go into combat, you get beat up, you take a rest for an hour, you heal up, you go into another combat, you come back out, you rest, you heal up. Granted, you can only get so many hit die of resting, but a short rest doesn't necessarily mean hit points. It can be abilities that come back and stuff. So to kind of avoid that situation, regardless, you have to have at least 4 hours between rest. So that means you can have like 3 short rests a day, or if you get the opportunity to do a long rest, you could do a long rest as well. When it comes to healing, when you get your hit dice back, you can, if somebody has performed some sort of a healing kit on you or treated your wounds, as I say, you can add your Constitution modifier to those dice rolls, each one. So if you got a con of 18 and you get a D8, you could roll a D8 and add +4 to every hit die that you roll. So potentially you could have at 8 level 8d8 plus 32 or whatever it is. So you can do your hit die modifier to each one. The only way you could do that though is if it goes through a successful medicine check, and I put the deal up there for medicine checks. Essentially, it's a DC 15 medicine check in order for you to say, I've figured out the best way to heal myself, which then gives you the bonuses. And if you have a healing kit, you can, it's a DC 10. If you are proficient with the healing kit, your rolls will be at advantage, right? So there's just a couple rules in there when it comes to healing. The big thing to remember is if you've done the medicine check before you do your hit die rolls and you successfully pass your hit die check, you can add a Constitution modifier to it. Probably the only caveat to any of this is you don't have to worry about it if you're like completely healed with healing spells and stuff like that. Critical injury is another one that can come into play, obviously. Hey, thank you, my good sir. Ronnie out there giving love, man. Appreciate you. If you are critically injured, you have to make a Constitution save or suffer. I'm sorry. If you get down to the critical, you automatically take 1 level of exhaustion, and then you have to make a con save. If you fail your con save, then you are subjected to 2 levels of exhaustion. And for each, if you go down to 0, right, you are immediately at 3 levels of exhaustion, and then all your death saves can be another added level of exhaustion. And essentially you can see how that works. When you drop to 0, you have 3 levels of exhaustion. If you fail 3 death saves, you're dead anyway, and that's 6 levels of exhaustion. You're essentially dead. So the critically, or the last legs death store things, last legs means you're below 10% of your max hit points. So right now everybody's has a death store of 2 hit points, because even if you have 17, anything above 10, like 11 hit points, 1.1 is above 1, so it rolls up to 2. So once you get to that point, you're considered on your last legs. When you hit to 0, you're on death store, and like I said, every death save you fail is a level of exhaustion. Something new that I'm trying, and again, stop me if you need either clarification, you need to talk about it, you're not sure about it, let me know, players. This is tonight's session 0 is going to do 2 things. Number 1, we're going to talk about sort of the general guideline expectations of the house rules. Make sure you guys at least have a warm fuzzy on what they are. The second thing is we're going to go through the VTT. For those that haven't done the VTT, I want to be able to walk you through where everything's at, how to kind of do things, because there's a lot of things even I'm still finding out, right? So you guys that have experience with Foundry and Forge may know things that I don't. But I want to go through it just so that everybody understands how things work. And then the last thing is I want to do just a set combat, so you guys can at least have an idea how combat works and see how shitty the dice rolls really are when it comes to electronic dice rolling. So like I said, when Sundered Shields is something new that I'm going to be giving a try, and essentially you can use a reaction to reduce a single enemy attack to 0 hit points. However, the shield is essentially sundered and rendered useless. Now, I am also going to probably put a little bit of a caveat in there, because I did say that like magical shields get an additional use. Like if you have a +1 shield and you block one attack, then it'll only reduce it by like 1. So instead of a +1 shield, it now becomes quote unquote a regular shield that can be repaired as long as the shield isn't completely sundered on the next attack. But I'm still kind of weighing my options as to if you take like some serious amount of damage, that it would knock it down more than 1 level. Like if you had a +2 shield and you got blasted by a stone giant with a rock for like 80 hit points or whatever, it would sunder the shield, and maybe because it did so much damage, it literally took down both levels of the magic as well. But that's just, I'm not going to worry about that right now. That's just something I'm floating in my head. But for right now, just know that if an enemy is attacking you, as a reaction, you can use your shield to reduce a single enemy attack to 0 damage. And so that could be potentially useful almost every round. If you have a shield, you could use it, but again, it'll get sundered in that, even if they only did 1 hit point. If you say, I'm going to use my shield to block all of that damage, your shield is sundered with 1 hit point. So I would recommend judicious use. Healing potions is another new thing that I'm going to be doing. As a bonus action, I let you grab your potion and take it. But if you do it as a bonus action, you have to use dice rolls to get the effect, which is standard. However, if you use your full action to quaff a potion of healing, let's say, you get the full effect. It means you get max hit points back. So if you got a potion of superior healing or something like that, you don't have to roll the dice. Just whatever the max is, that's what you get. But you have to use your full action in order to do it. Skill checks, group checks, that's another thing. If you want to help somebody, so trying to give them advantage, you have to be proficient in the skill that you're helping with. So if you're helping somebody investigate to give them advantage, you have to be proficient in investigation. If you are not, and you are proficient in some other skill, you're going to have to role play and sell me how that skill will aid somebody doing the skill that you want to help them in. So if you're trying to help Jordix over there investigate and examine something, and you don't have proficiency in investigation, but I don't know, maybe, bluffing, perception, something, deception or whatever, something that would allow you to help him even though you weren't proficient in that investigation skill. The other thing is I don't go for the whole, I'm going to try again. Oh, now you try. Oh, I'm going to wait an hour. And no. If you fail by a certain amount, that's it. You're one and done. So don't bother asking to come back. Can I try again and again and again? You're going to have to find some other way. The big one everybody always knows about are locks. Like if you fail to pick a lock or something like that. There will always be extenuating circumstances. I am as pro player a DM as you're going to get, even though I bitch about players not being able to die easily in 5e, but I still am a rather pro player DM. So take that for what it's worth. Let's see. Cantrips. We've been discussing cantrips not being unlimited. Essentially, your cantrips are limited to whatever your ability score is for your spellcasting ability. So if you have an 18 intelligence and you're a wizard that uses intelligence as your spell casting ability, you get 18 cantrips. After that, you're going to need a short or long rest to revive them. You can also, on a score of 3 to 1, you can trade in 3 cantrips to get a leveled spell for each level. So 3 cantrips will get you a level 1, 3 or 6 will get you a level 2, and 9 will get you a level 3 spell slot. It doesn't go the other way around though. That's something different I'm doing this campaign. I don't let you, I'm going to trade in a 3rd level spell for 9 cantrips. And then you could turn around and use that for a 2nd level spell. No. So it's only one way. I'll talk about it when we get into VTT. I talked about it. I actually posted it in the Discord chat. Instead of, you can track however you want now, however you've got it set up is fine. But I am actually building a custom module for our game that I'm going to install. And what that will do is, all you have to do is be a spellcaster of some sort, whether cleric, bard, whatever. It will automatically determine what your spellcasting ability is, look up what that score is, and create a tracker on the front page of your character sheet. And you'll see right under your, if you saw the picture I posted of Tarikas, who was Monkey's cleric from last campaign, I was testing it locally, and it puts a little thing right underneath, or right where your favorites are in the bottom left-hand corner of your character sheet. It says cantrip tracker or something to that effect. And then it says, like in his case, 19 out of 19. And then when you cast a cantrip, it will automatically decrement it. And when you long and short rest, it'll automatically increment it. You can still go in and adjust it manually by clicking in the whatever you have available and reducing it. You should never have to increment it because, like I said, it'll automatically do it for you. But you can go in, and that way you can take 3 spells off, or 3 castings off, and go update your character sheet with a spell slot. So anyway, and I think last but not least, I'm not sure if I had anything else. I don't have the whole sheet here. I got what I had. So if I'm missing something, I apologize. But all these will be worked out as the game goes. Anyway, when it comes to light, magical light is okay, but if you use torches or anything that is naturally flame burning, that will affect your enhanced vision, dark vision in particularly. I originally said Devil's Sight, but I don't think Devil's Sight, because Devil's Sight can actually see through magical darkness. So I don't think that heat giving off would affect Devil's Sight. So I'm going to kind of limit it mostly to like dark vision and stuff, because that's kind of essentially the way I look at it is if you are wearing night vision goggles and somebody comes up and shines a flashlight in your face. If you know, you know. So that is what I mean by that. So it has to be like a heat generating kind of a thing. And other than that, that's kind of the main house rules. Is you guys got any questions? You're awful quiet over there. I'm hoping people are still awake. So
We're alive and well.
yeah, okay. All right. I just want to make sure, because like I said, if there's anything that I say that you're confused or you think is wrong, stop me, because I am wrong a lot. You ask AK. He was only with the campaign a short period of time last time, and he can attest to the fact that they don't call it Scheisse cinema for nothing. If you speak German, you know. So anyway, that's kind of the gist of the house rules that I want to cover. From another expectation, as far as my personal opinion or my personal request from you, number one, I will never badger you or bludgeon you into doing something. However, I would ask that at least 2, maybe 3 times a week, pop your face into Discord to make sure if there's anything that you need to know, if I need something from somebody or whatever. Online gaming, if you have not done it, can be notorious for set it and forget it. And by that I mean you're in the game, you're playing, you're fully invested in the game, and as soon as the game's done, you're out. And then an hour before the game, you pop back in. So our Discord channel is not something that we spam people about on anything. Really, we're very low-keyed. But a lot of times I will ask for something, or I may need something from somebody, or whatever the case may be. And the other big one is a lot of times, oh crap, life happens. Can't play tonight. And so I just want to kind of put it out there that, if it doesn't take long, 5 minutes, okay, good. Nothing going on. I'm good to go. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we're in agreement that we should at least come by a couple, 3 times a week, whatever the case may be. AK, he's got me on Messenger for Facebook, so we can communicate that way as well if you guys don't like to come into the Discord. But I really do need to be able to get a hold of you if I've got something that I need you guys to do. And so just keep that in mind, please. And the other thing I will say, and this has been a standing rule of mine for a while, if there are 2 players missing, any more than 2 players, I should say 2 and above, I don't game. I don't play other people's characters. They become sort of a zombie. They follow you around. They will be able to do general stuff like if they're a thief, they can pick a lock. If they're a magic user, they can cast like Identify or something to that effect, but they do not get involved in combat, and so they cannot be hit, nor can they hit. And so 1 player gone can be deadly. 2 is a really big deal. And so my standard rule of thumb is if there are 2 or more players missing, we won't game. And which is why I ask people to just keep me notified so I can keep the rest of the channel notified if you're not one to frequent Discord. So yeah, I'd appreciate that. And I think that is it for the general stuff. Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns? Sean, you're full of shit. Stop talking. Let's play. I don't know what's going on.
I appreciate all the work you put into this.
Oh, I don't know about
agree.
work. I don't know about work, but yeah, so it's been fun. It really has. Everything that I have here, map-wise and content-wise, I have pulled from sources. There's some stuff that I've thrown in myself, but when it comes to these maps, I will say it again. The guy that I get our maps from is absolutely amazing, and I can't believe I don't have. I'm looking at the stream. I'm like, where's his icon at? I must not have. Oh yeah, it's right there in the middle. Mason Cartography. It's actually Oworth Odysseys is how I found him. I don't know if he changed it or it's just sort of his professional is Mason Cartography, but on Patreon it's Oworth Odysseys. All these maps he did. And he actually has done a lot of stuff with the Foundry VTT, so I can import the maps, and when I import it, it already has all the walls built and all the tokens put on it, and dude, he is like, I love the guy. If I wasn't already been married for going on 40 years, I'd ask him to marry me because it is really, really great stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so what I want to do. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, seriously. And this is what I was talking about for those that know. I don't ask for anything as far as audience people coming in. I love when people come in and cheer. I love when people come in and subscribe or donate or whatever. Never ask it from anybody. But everything that goes in, this is what it's paying for. It's my monthly Patreons. It's the hosting services. It's pretty much everything. The occasional beer, but mostly goes back to the stream. So what I want to do now, players, if everybody is in the VTT, I'd appreciate if you would take a look there, because what I'm going to do now is go through the VTT itself. So I'm going to go around the horn here really quick, and I'm going to call you by your character name because I can never remember people's names. So don't take it personally, but that's why I changed some of your login visual names so that I know who you are. So if please don't change them back later on as the stream goes on and I've learned who you are maybe, but not now. But anyway, Edelbrock, have you got Foundry experience?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Forge? Well, I know you do. Duh.
Just a little bit from the last game, plus the fact that I own the VVT, but I have not had a lot of time to play with it.
Okay. Yep. We're working on it, man. We're working on it. Trust me. Gage, you got VTT or this Forge?
Novice amount, but I'm getting the hang of it pretty quick.
Okay. Sweet. What about you, Hackron? John, you good?
A little bit. Only what Jamie's shown me already.
Okay. All right. And what about you, Jordix? You DM'd this, haven't you?
Used a few different PTTs before, but not Forge.
Okay. All right. So Forge is just, for those that don't know, Forge is a hosting service, and basically it's all Foundry, right? That's all it is. So it's a Foundry under the hood. It's just a Forge web overlay. And it just allows me to, and I think you're using Squire, correct me if I'm wrong. Gage, did you say? No. I always want to. No, I was trying to figure out.
Not it.
Okay. AK, was that you that you're using Squire?
Nope.
All right. Who am I?
I don't even know what Squire is.
Oh, okay. Who is?
Nor do I.
All right. I'm losing my brain. All right. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. Never mind. It is one of my first edition guys, Exior. He's playing Modred. He actually bought a Foundry, and he's trying to do a 5e game to teach people to play. And he and I have been trying to go through stuff. So what I am going to do is, if you are looking at the VTT, I'm going to put it up on the stream so everybody can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the VTT itself. Unfortunately, this goes as a player's view out on the stream. But essentially what I would like is, while you guys are following along or whatever, go ahead and do it like for yourself. Like you can go to if right now I am on the Sasserine map, but I'm going to move over to the Sasserine region. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop everybody's token. You know what? Click over. Well, I guess I should. Let's start there. Upper left-hand corner, really quick. If you're watching on the stream, in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see it says Sasserine region, and there should be a little arrow drop down. If you click on that, it'll show you Sasserine as well as the Sasserine region. And so if you click on Sasserine, that will take you to the city view. And what I'm going to do is I am going to drop everybody's token on the map. It doesn't really matter that you're super huge compared to what the map looks like. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to put everybody on there. And all right, so everybody is on the map, and then you go and you just go walk over like Godzilla and everything. And what I'm going to do is I am going to start. If I can find my notes here, there we are. I am going to start on the left-hand side of the VTT itself, not necessarily the left side of the map, even though it is. But in the very left-hand side, in the bottom left-hand corner, you should see that there is your name, right? And if in the bottom left-hand corner, if you could see, if you click it, it pops up everybody's name. Now, when you first log in, it probably had a pop-up and it said, hey, you can configure yourself some way, shape, or form, right? You could pick the color that you want for your little dot and all that stuff. If you go down there, if you click on your name, and it will I should say, if you right click on your name and you click view player avatar, or in your case, view player, or view yourself, or click on your name, whatever it is, you can actually click on the user configuration and you can make your change settings there. So the first thing I want you to do is, like I said, right click your name, pop open user configuration, and at the very bottom it has player character. Your character name should be selected for that box. So if it's not, just hit the little drop down and you can scroll down to find whatever and find your character and then select it. If you don't like the color of your character color, you can click it and pick whatever color you want. Just be aware that, as far as I know, every time you log in, it's going to change it. It'll randomly pick a color. Don't know for sure. As a DM, I never pay attention, but I'm pretty sure it does. But the bottom line is you can change things there. You can put pronouns in there if you want. You do some other things. But the big one to me is select the drop down and click your character. And once you're done, just click save. Okay. If you want to zoom in, you can just hit the scroll wheel on your mouse. If you don't have a scroll wheel, I don't know what to do. I'm not sure how it does, but if you hit the scroll wheel, you can zoom way in or you can zoom way out, depending upon how good your eyesight is.
Control plus or minus will zoom you.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It probably had some sort of a keyboard shortcut or something like that. If you want to move on the map, like you're zoomed way in, but you want to move, just right click and hold it and just drag it wherever you want. So as you drag it, you can, move up, down, left, right, whatever. So that's how you can move the map if you need to move the map if it's too big. Like usually you can zoom out and then, I want to zoom in here. So you just click and drag to kind of center it where you want, and then whoop, I use the mouse to zoom in. You can also ping on the map. If you left click and hold, it'll form a little ping circle. And you'll notice that it is the color that you picked when you come in. So when you do that, you can do that. If you hold the shift button and left click somewhere on the map, it'll actually center the map to where you're pinging, and it'll create this little arrow thingy on wherever you were pinging at. And so you can kind of see, but it's like if you want to ping at the bottom of the map and you go shift, hold, ping, it'll center the map on wherever you pinged and move it that way. So I don't use that one too much. Usually the one I use is I just left, hold, and ping, and it gives. On the...
I'm out of that, so that's not working, but I'll figure it out.
Oh, really? Different key selectors, I'll bet. One of the things I was going to talk about, and we'll get to it a little later, you can go into the settings. I, as a DM, have control of a lot of settings, but there are a lot of settings that players can go in and adjust to make them for yourself. Particularly things like if you want a dice roll region, so the dice will only roll a certain spot on your map, stuff like that, or dice colors and things like that. But there are some settings that you as players can go in and adjust because I've granted you rights to do so. So now that we got that, let me go ahead and start on the right-hand side. So on the right-hand side, you'll see all these faded tokens or icons. The top one is for chat. The next one's for combat. The one under that is the actors, i.e. players or monsters or whatever. You will only see what you have permissions to see. As players, because I have put everybody as observers of other players, you can see all the tokens. You just can't do anything with them, but you can do whatever with your own. Underneath actors is items. If you click on items, it's probably empty right now because that's where I could create some custom items to drop there to let you guys use, but right now I don't have anything. The one underneath the items is the journal. That's kind of a big one. I created a folder called party journals that everybody should see. And there's a should be 2 journals that you're able to access. The party journal, and then there's a journal for yourself. So the party journal is typically where we keep track of like treasure and stuff that we found. And this is totally up to you guys how you want to track things. But in the previous games, somebody, every single stream went in and put notes, and it had the date, and then under the date, everything that we found as far as treasure and whatnot. There's also, again, another one strictly for you that you can go in and keep notes for yourself. So if you're not somebody that wants to have a notepad at home and you're writing in a notepad, which is fine, old school is good. But if you want an electronic way to just kind of keep some notes on the game, whether it's places, names, things like that, you could just put them in there, and as it works just like a really good notebook. You can configure it and set it up any way you want. You can have folders, say for Adventure 1, all this stuff, Adventure 2, all this stuff, and keep it segregated that way. So any way that you want to do it, but I just provided you guys with a way that you can kind of track things. Underneath that is roll tables. Probably won't ever have to do anything with that unless we get into, if you find like a Wand of Wonder or Wild Magic or something like that where you have to roll from a dice table. And then what'll happen is we'll just put one there, and then that will allow you to go click on it and auto roll for certain things, right? But again, there's nothing there now because I don't think in the 4 years that I have been doing the VTT that I've ever had a chance to use it. Same thing with cards. It was interesting that somebody said, what you do is you could go in and build these card stacks and do something like a deck of many things. And so if you have to pick, I could put the cards there and you could click it and it would pick one of the cards, and you could put artwork in there and all that stuff. So that's kind of cool. The macros, if you are familiar and you know, I do allow you to put macros if you want macros to run certain things or do certain things. We just have to take a look at it. I want to make sure you're not rolling double damage every time. But yeah, we can definitely put macros. That's fine. I just said no double. All right.
Exactly.
All right. Rules lawyers, man, already starting. Underneath that is the playlist. Typically, that'll just show you what I'm playing. However, a lot of times, and AK can attest to this, a lot of times I will have music playing, but I'll forget to put it on loop, so it'll jump to the next one. And for some reason, it always comes in at like 100%. Okay, not that much, but like 50, 60%. And it can be loud sometimes, and it might distract you. You can go here as a custom for yourself, and you can put all your controls down. It won't mean you can't hear us. What that means is the music and stuff that's playing, you won't hear. Because a lot of times I'll have like combat music in the background or some kind of music playing in the background here. So you can go adjust it yourself. The compendium packs, that's actually a good thing. That's where you can go and you can see items. Like if I tell you, hey, you found a ring of protection, you can go in here and search for a ring of protection, open up your character sheet and drag it over on your character sheet. But I usually ask you guys, while it's fine if you want to go look up stuff and we can't remember how much does a potion of healing do? Well, it'll say right on the item, but there may be something that we don't know off the top of our heads that you want to look up or something like that. Fine to go look at it in here. Usually, though, I ask that you guys don't drag items onto your sheets yourselves. Let me do that, so that way I keep track of who got what. But if there's something that you want on there and you say, hey, is it okay if I drag it? I'm never going to tell you no. Just let me know that you're doing it. So again, this is the compendium. You can come in and see a lot of different things. They got macros here. If you're into that, like I said, you can go find pre-made ones. And then last but not least on the bottom is the 2 gears. The 2 gears is obviously exactly what it means. It lets you know, or the settings. So you can see what version of D&D 5 or D&D 5e we're using. We're under 5.2.5. You can see what version of Foundry on. We're on version 13, build 351. You can see that I've got 25 different active modules in there. There's all kinds of things you can see. But the one I want to talk about is the game settings. If you click on the game or the configure settings, it'll pop open a window and you can see all the little modules on the left-hand side that allow you to configure things. And you can go in there, like under the very first one is core. You can go configure certain things in core. You can do light background, dark background. You can change font size. So there's many things that you can adjust yourselves that will only take effect for you. It saves it on your computer for your settings and all that stuff. So whenever you come in, you can have it set however you want. Underneath that, the same thing with the D&D 5e. You can do certain configurations and whatnot, animations, chat portrait. I'm not going to get into all these modules just because there's a lot of different things. If you guys want to investigate and explore, have at it. But the one I do want to show you is the dice tray. Well, not the dice tray, sorry, Dice So Nice. If you go into Dice So Nice, it'll pop open and you can see there's two things. There's the 3D dice settings and there's a rollable area. If you click on the rollable area, it will actually let you drag to where you want the dice to roll. And on your computer, that is where the dice will roll whenever you roll the dice. So if you don't like me, I have it for the whole screen, so they'll bounce everywhere and stuff. It's just all kind of fun. But if you don't want that, if you just want like a little narrow corner in the bottom somewhere, you could do that too, but that's where the dice will roll. The other thing is the 3D settings. The 3D dice settings allow you to pick your dice color. You can do for some presets. You can create custom themes. Have fun, go at it. Do anything you want. If you happen to be knowledgeable of some of these things and you've done Foundry and there's a certain dice pack that you like, let me know. I have no problem going out and getting it and bringing it in and adding it to allow you to have certain dice themes. This right here is stock out of the box type stuff, a couple of custom things. But like I said, if there's something that you're interested in having, you can go ahead and do that. And then, once you're done, you just do test save or a test roll and it'll roll all the different dice based on whatever settings, and you can say yes or no. The other thing that you could do at the very top of the settings, you'll see appearance, preferences, special effects. On special effects, I always add a special effect. So if you click on the special effects and then on the right hand side there's a little plus, you click that plus and then you can do the drop down to select the dice number. So I'm going to select a D20 and then I am going to, on the right hand side it says unique white glow, unique dark, whatever. I put the sound of epic win. And then I'm going to add another one for a D20 that if I roll, I forgot to fill in, sorry. For the D20 in the middle block, if you click it, it'll have a drop down and it'll tell you to pick what value. And then on the second one, I'm rolling a D20 and I'm going to pick a natural 1 and I'm going to scroll down and put epic fail. And then see if any of them get on. Now,
Are we still on the VTT? Because I'm not seeing any of this anywhere. I must have missed something.
oh, so the thing is whenever I do stuff on my VTT, you won't see it. You have to follow along yourself, or if you watch on the stream.
Right, I can't find any of the options you're talking about.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
Searching around my screen trying to find it. I missed where.
yep. All right. No worries. So hang on just a second. Who is that was asking? Is that you, JB? No, we're good, JB. So essentially, let me make sure first of all, I want to save my settings first. So first of all, I'm going to bounce out on my DM's view here really quick, just to make sure that all of you should have been assigned as trusted players. I think I got everybody, but
Yeah,
if
it shows trusted players on the side for everybody.
does it show everybody? Because I couldn't remember if I did John or not.
Nope, it shows everybody.
All right, cool.
Across them all their names that says trusted.
Oh, sweet. Okay. All right. So, all right, you with me now, JB? So on the right-hand side of the screen at the very bottom, there's those 2 gear wheels. You click the gear wheels, those are game settings, and it'll open up a window on the right-hand side that has all the different settings you can pick. And at the very top, well, not the very top, but underneath the D&D symbol, there's the big words game settings. Right underneath that, there's a button. If you hover over it, it says configure settings. Okay? You with me?
Okay, now I see dice so nice.
Yep. So you're there. And then if you go down, when it pops up in that window, you go to Dice So Nice. And then when you click it, it'll open up another little panel in the on the window there. And you'll see 3D dice settings and rollable area. Again, I don't ever mess with rollable area, but if that's what you want to do, you open it up and then you click and drag a box. It'll sort of put this overlay on your screen that's lightly colored or transparent, and you click and drag. So you click and hold and drag a box open, and it'll create a box where that'll be the window where you want your dice to roll. But again, I never mess with it. If you can, or if you want, you can. So anyway, where it says 3D dice settings, if you click the button on the right-hand side, it'll open up your dice settings, and it'll show your default, whatever it is, a bunch of dice sort of floating around and spinning right there. And at the top of those, you'll see it says appearance, preferences, special effects, performance, backup and restore. The big ones that I look at are the special effects, other than picking my dice color and fonts and all that stuff. Here, I go to special effects, and under special effects, you can see that if I get rid of mine, when you first pop in, there's nothing there. But on the right-hand side, there's a little plus symbol. If you click that plus symbol, it'll open up a new place where you can create a new configuration. And the first thing you do on the left-hand side is in the drop-down, you select a dice type, D6, D100, whatever. I only mess with D20, but you do you, boo, whatever you want. So I do a D20. And then the next block is a big open black text box. I have no idea why whoever did the UI on this sucks, but you click in that box and it'll open up a big long drop down, and it'll give you however many dice that you pick. So a D20, it'll show a D whatever. So I go down and I pick the number 20, right? So D20, now I got the number 20, and on the right-hand side, I click that and it opens up a drop down to say this is the special effect. Some people do particles, some people do blazes. I do the epic wind. So mine's going to go ta-da anytime I get a nat 20. Then I click that plus again. I do the exact same thing. I go D20. I click in the block and click a number 1. I click in the right-hand side and scroll down and I go epic fail. And once I do that, I click save. And now my settings are saved. So now it'll be impossible for it to happen easily, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to go, I'm going to roll 50 D20. And of course, yep. So yeah, so it didn't sound on mine because I got the volume all the way down, but it essentially, I know, I heard it, yeah. But if it's a nat 1, it's like wah, 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 or nat 20 is ta-da. So I want to make sure that I got that right one. Epic fail, epic win, yep, okay. So anyway, so those are sort of the basics on the right-hand side of what those tabs are. Card man, my man. What's up, my brother? So anyway, one of the other things that I want to talk about here really quick is the chat block. So if you, underneath the gears on the right-hand side, it has that little arrow. If you click that, it'll expand or contract or collapse, I should say, expand or collapse the right-hand panel. So you can do whatever. if you go into, at the very bottom, there's a black box, and that's the chat block. Obviously, you can chat there, silly. But you can also do things like dice rolls and whatnot. If you just notice, Forge typed hello, and it moved my map over to center on Forge, and it had a little chat bubble above his head. That is an annoyance to me. I take it out on my DM's version. That's one of the settings that you can set, where you can go in and turn off chat bubbles, and you can turn off the thing that says scroll to the person that's talking, because a lot of times you'll be doing something and somebody like Forge will say something, and all of a sudden you're like streaming across the map to be centered on them. But anyway, you can do chat and whatnot. But I will say that in addition to the dice and the chat and all that, just above the chat block itself, you'll see 4 little icons. The one that looks like a globe means public. The one next to it means private GM, which means that only I will see the roll. So I should say private GM is for you. If you click private GM, it'll go to you and me. Nobody else will see it though. But if you do a blind roll, which is the eyeball with a slash in it, that's the one where only the DM will get to see it, not even you. And the last one is self roll. That means not even I see it, only you do. Take care when you're rolling dice. Sometimes when you go to roll, somehow, some way, you may have accidentally clicked one of those other icons or whatever. So instead of a public roll, it goes to just you. And you're like, I got a nat 20, but DM didn't see it because you rolled it private. Sorry, dude, doesn't count. Roll again. So it's happened to us a couple times last stream. But yeah. So anyway. Also, if you want to whisper to somebody, meaning sending them a private message, if you do /W and then type the name of the person. So in this case, I'm not going to type it. Well, I'm going to have to, but I'm going to go to Forge. I can go his name and I wonder if I got to put it in like blocks. I haven't really done the whisper much. There we go. So if you could see it on the stream. I actually sent a message that went to AK, i.e. Forge. Because of our names, the way we've got them, you guys have first and last names. You have to put the names in bracket. If you want to just whisper me, all you gotta do is put GM, and it'll come to me. But if you want to do the player, I think you got to do the brackets around their character name. That being said, if you send them a whisper and you say, it's okay if everybody sees it, all you have to do is there's on the little where it shows the chat, if you click the little 3, right-click the little 3 buttons up and down, you can click it and reveal to everyone, and poof, it'll show to everybody. So now everybody can see that I whispered hello to him. So that's just a little bit on the chat block. We already talked, and again, I'm going back over these because I hit them really quick, and now any details that I want to go in here. For combat encounters, the second one, that's where anytime we have combat, that's where that'll show up. It'll have the turn order. It'll have whose turn it is. It'll show your status. You'll at least be able to see your status, and you can see some other statuses and some other information about your fellow party members as well as whoever it is that you might be encountering. Let's see. Talk a little bit about the character sheets real quick. So obviously when if you see your token on the map, and I'm going to use you as a guinea pig there, AK, if you don't mind.
Not a problem.
I am going to configure ownership so that my player has owner rights to Forge, just so that I can do what I need to do. But the first thing I want to say is if you see your token on the map, you can double left click on your token and it'll open up your character sheet. And so you can see the character sheet proper. If you were, as I said before, if you have your character sheet open and you go back to the compendium on the right, that's the next to last icon. It just looks like a web page. And you can go in and you can go open up D&D Beyond, and you can open up items if there are any. Let's go to legacy content. Here we go. Let's do modern. Go to equipment. And I don't know. Let's give him an amulet of health. And so I can go and I can see Forge here, and I can drag off of the equipment list. I can just drag this and drop it on his sheet, and he'll have an amulet of health. Okay?
Much appreciated.
You're welcome. The other thing that you can do off your character sheet is, obviously all of you have pouches and bags and sacks. If I go to one of his pouches and I click on that pouch, it'll open it up. What I can do then is I can take that amulet of health and drag it on top of the pouch, and it'll move it from his equipment, and now it's in his pouch. And vice versa, if I open up my pouch and there's an item in there, I can drag it into my equipment and drop it there. So you can move items around by just opening up the item and then the container and dragging the item out of the container back onto your equipment. Because a lot of times if there's something that you want to use, but you can't use it because you got it stuck in your bag somewhere. So that is just an easy way that you can kind of move stuff around. As I said, I'm not necessarily wanting to add items to your sheet and everything, because what I usually do is everything gets handled out on D&D Beyond. All your leveling that happens, any items that I may give you, I put them on D&D Beyond, unless you need them right now during the game. But I usually put them on D&D Beyond because then I sync between D&D Beyond and here. So I can go in here and I can edit your character sheet. You can edit your character sheet too. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see this little edit button, a little gear or a wrench. You click on that, and that allows you to edit your character somehow, whatever it may be. There's a D&D Beyond icon next to it, and if I click it, well, you don't have the Cobalt cookie for here, but there's a certain token you need to have that lets you sync, and when you have it, it'll open up a panel that lets you import your character from D&D Beyond to here, or you can send it from here down to D&D Beyond. But like I said, most of the editing that we do on our character sheets, for ease of purposes, do it all on D&D Beyond and just let me sync it from there to here. So that way you don't have to worry about it. In-game, tracking hit points, tracking items, stuff like that, or potions or whatever. In-game, great. But when it comes to the big stuff like adding a bunch of items and things, I would much rather do it at D&D Beyond and just import everything than to have to worry about it. Let's see. When you open up your character sheet, you can actually do dice rolls right from here. So if Forge here is using his Warhammer, I just open it up. On the right-hand side, you have all these different tabs. First one's your details with all your ability scores and skills. The next one's your inventory. The next one's features that you may have. Spells, that's always a good one. Effects, don't necessarily have to worry about those unless you have to give yourself a condition of some sort. But that usually happens automatically. If you want to go and check your descriptions and appearance and do stuff like that. And the last one is really more for character configuration. But you click on the item, and then all you have to do is click like Warhammer. It'll pop open a window that says, do you want advantage, a disadvantage, or normal? Are there any modifiers? Like, oh, looks like Forge already gets a +3 and a +2, whatever those are for. And then you just click it, and it'll roll the dice for you. And I rolled a 6. Oh, look at there. I rolled a 18 with the... And then in the chat, you'll see a little chat box comes up, or a thing comes up that shows it. If you click on where the dice roll was, it'll show you what you rolled and then the breakdown. So it has a 1d20 plus 3 plus 2. So you see, oh, I rolled an 18 and I got a plus 5. That's why I got a 23. So you just click on that and it'll give you that breakdown if you ever wonder, well, how did it come up with that number? And there's been a lot of times where people have come up and says, hey, I'm supposed to get something additional. Monkey was notorious for that. One of the feats that he had allowed him as a healer to get additional healing himself just by healing somebody else. And for whatever reason, it just never worked in this system. So we had to manually track that, and we would always look, did they fix it? And they never did. Let's see.
I don't know why it's got plus 3 plus 2. Should only be plus 3 for strength.
Proficiency, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because it gives you a plus 5 to hit. So, because you are proficient in martial weapons, your strength is plus 3 and your proficiency is the plus 2. At second level, everybody's proficiency is plus 2. So also what you can do, if you look at your items, especially weapons and whatnot, when you go to your inventory on the right, you'll see what looks like a little shield. If you click the shield, that means it'll equip it. So if you watch his armor class right now is at 18. If I go and unequip his shield, his chainmail, his armor class goes down to 14 because it's not equipped. So clicking it equips it. That means it's in hand, ready to go. Deselecting obviously means it's not. One thing that's interesting that they do here, if you have a favorite thing that you like to do, like your favorite is to attack with your Warhammer, or your favorite is a particular spell, you can drag, let's say Warhammer, and drag it onto the front page on the left-hand side under favorites, and it'll always be there. You can go to your front home page, you can go to your spells or whatever, and your favorite item is going to be there, and you can do it right from your favorites. And you can I don't think there's really a limit to how many favorites you need. To get rid of it, just right-click and delete, and it'll ask you want to remove from favorites, and you go, yeah. So make sure it didn't. Oh, it deleted his Warhammer. Okay, you don't have a Warhammer anymore. No big deal.
Yeah, that's for the gift of throwing it.
Yep, exactly. So I'll put it back. Like I said, a lot of favorite things you could drag. Another favorite place to drag them is the bottom bar. If you look at the very bottom of your browser, there's like a bunch of windows 1 through 10. Essentially, you can drag your favorite things there as well. Then you never even have to have your character sheet open. You can do everything that you want. I know a lot of guys will do spells or their weapons. On the right-hand side, you'll see there's a pager, so you can just go crazy to put everything down there. Never have to open your character sheet again, except maybe to do items or something like that. So those are all different ways that you can kind of put favorites that you want to use and drag around and do whatever. Let's see. I already talked about the journals, talked about the music, talked about the compendium tab. What else is there that we may want to? We talked about Dice So Nice. The token itself, if you right-click on your token, you'll see it'll pop open several different, looks like a HUD going around your token. At the very bottom is your current hit points. You can also, if you want, set it so it shows other resources like your armor class or something like that. And I'll show you that in a second. But I want to go around the horn. Top left hand is for light. Like if you have torches or a light spell, all you have to do is you right-click this, and you can see I right-clicked it and it popped open torch. So Forge Flintfire has torches available, and I can click torch, and what it will do is it will put a torchlight around you. So if you're in darkness and you right-click torch, or right-click and then click on torch, it will suddenly have light around you, just like a regular torch would. It's like 20-foot regular light and 40-foot extended light. But it will consume the torch that you have. And if you don't have any torches, it should not. Either it won't let you click it, or it just won't even show up. If I were to do the same thing, it won't let me do it for anybody else because I am not their owner. But if you have like a light spell, like I think Edelbrock, you have a light spell. So if you click on your or right click on your token, and you see,
Actually, I don't.
okay, yeah, but I maybe might have been Monkey or somebody that I was doing his character when I was playing around with this stuff last night. But anyway, if you click on it, it'll show you any other way that you have light. Underneath that is elevation. So if you happen to be flying, you could put how high up in the air you are. And that comes into play when the system tries to determine, are you close enough to hit something or not? Or are they within range, or if they're in a short range or long range, right? And so that whole geometry comes into effect when you put height and stuff like that. Really haven't ever worried about send to front or back because I don't know that that's ever going to come into play. I'm trying to think of where that would come into play, and I just can't. Also, if you click the little gear wheel, it'll pop open your entire user configuration. It'll have your identity. You can change it to display your name always or only when you hover or whatever you want. You can, token disposition is the only one that I ask that you please don't muck with, because token disposition is always friendly or hostile. Friendly is always the party members, hostile is anybody else, even NPCs, because when it comes to rolling dice and stuff like that, the non-player characters roll their own and NPCs get rolled en masse by the system. You can change your appearance slightly. Again, I'm not going to mess with any of this stuff. You can do things like when it's your turn on combat, how the token around you appears and stuff like that. You can change things like that. Vision, always have vision enabled. Always have how far your vision range is. If you're human, I think it's blank, because that usually when they talk vision distance, they mean how far can you see if there's no light, right? So in this case, Forge has, this says 120-foot dark vision. Is that correct for a dwarf?
That is correct.
Damn. It used to be like 30 feet back in the day. It's crazy. Anyway, so 120 feet dark vision you can see and whatnot. And again, you can change and tweak things. This won't affect what we see. It's only what you see.
You can also drop it down to tremor sense too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty nice. So light is the other one. You can go in, and a lot of times this is what I do a lot of times when the map's getting frustrating to me, and somebody's like, I can't see anything. So I'll just go in and I'll just give them light, and then a light will appear around them, and then they can see. It's just so we can get through the mapping and stuff like that. But that's essentially what that's for. And the other thing I was saying was about resources, 1 or 2. So you can decide, like, if hit points, you want them at the top or at the bottom. And then at the top, if you want some other stat, like you may want to know how many spell slots do I have left. And you can just see it just by clicking on your token, which I don't know why you would want that unless, well, if you're a sorcerer, then you just say, oh, how many 5th level slots I got left. But anyway, you could do different things like temporary hit points at the top or armor class, just movement, all this different stuff that you can select. And when you click on your token, that's what will appear in the other block. And then don't forget at the very end, always click update. If you don't click update, it won't remember, and then you have to go back and do it all again. Sweet. All right. Any questions about any of the VT? I didn't go through a whole lot of the stuff on the left. I guess I should. On the left-hand side, you have all the other tokens. Those are sort of the in-game type of tokens. The very first token control is, or the very first icon is token control. Looks like a little person. In order to move your token, you have to select that and then the little square box next to it. That means you can select. So I can select forge, and then I can click and hold, and then I can move him, right? If you want to, like, if you don't have a mouse to drag, you can actually click on, well, some way, however you click on your token, but you can do WASD as well. So WASD works as well as do arrow keys. So you can use arrow keys to move your token around as well. It'll move them one block at a time. The other thing you can do is, I think it's the shift key. If you click on your token, shift, and then do the mouse wheel, it'll rotate the token. But a lot of times you only want to rotate it a little bit. So instead of the shift key, hold the control key, and it's little micro movements instead. So if you want to get at a perfect angle to rotate your guy. But I usually don't like having the tokens rotated and stuff, but some guys like to put themselves on their head or something. But anyway, that's just a kind of a simple thing that you can do with your token if you want to do it. So anyway, on the left-hand side, at the very top left-hand, there's a little token controls. You click that token control, and you'll see a second column worth of stuff. You don't really have to worry about those too much. Maybe the second one, which is a ruler. If you click on that, now when you click and drag your token, it won't move the token, but it'll tell you how far away you're moving. So I click on Forge, and I start dragging, and you can see it's like 100 feet from where he's at to where that building is, or all the way down to where Hakon is 300 feet. So the thing that I want to encourage you to remember is if you do something like that, you have to go back and click the little square. Otherwise, you won't be able to move your token again. So you need to make sure that you go in and move your token. All right, so what do we got? Let's get rid of that. All right. So underneath that one is the target selector. So you can click on that, and then you can click on the token that you want, and it will select for targeting purposes. And when you click on one and you see the little arrows pointed toward the center, so it has a little boxer on it, looks like it's pointed toward the center, that means that they are selected. By selecting that there, if you hold the control button, I think it is, maybe it's the shift. Yeah, the shift one with that lets you select multiple targets. And if you click them again, it deselects them. So another reminder, and again, this just comes with experience if you're not used to it. Once you're done targeting something on an attack or something, make sure you deselect it, because usually if monsters get killed, I immediately remove them from the map, so it just gets rid of clutter. So just remember to deselect them before I do that. All right. The one underneath that next is literally just for measuring purposes. It works just like if you were, oops, what am I doing? Oh, I'm doing the circle. Why is it? Oh, it's measurement with okay. The measuring one was under the people control. The one underneath it is for like creating the circles or creating what's this one? Yeah, I can create a cone underneath that one. Yeah. These are ones that I haven't played with a whole lot. Do the square to create things, or array. If you have like something that you're blasting out somebody that's like a lightning bolt, something like that. So there's ways you can draw templates that way. Drawing tools, I opened up to that to you guys too. So if you click on the little pencil, we've got drawing tools, and then it creates a second column. You can draw circles or squares or freeform and all this other stuff. You can put text on there, whatever. Just don't go batshit crazy like you guys are now, so that we got a whole bunch of stuff everywhere. And I'm like, damn it, now I got to get rid of it. How do I get rid of all this stuff? So, I don't know. Will it let me select these? Nope. I got to figure out how to kind of figure out how to remove these drawings and stuff. But anyway, underneath that is journal notes. You guys really don't really have to worry too much about that. I do have a calendar, so if you click the little flag looking thing at the very bottom, there's a calendar. You can see what day it is and what time it is. And I actually have the way I do it is I have the time that runs in game is 10 times faster than regular world time. So by the time 3 hours go by, it's almost a day of game time. But I can always advance it slower or faster as time permits, depending upon what's going on. Can also, if you have a particular thing on a map you want to note, you can, under this journal notes, you can click on the notes display. Oops. Why is it not? Oh, never mind. Okay, so you can create a map note with the journal. I want to create a map note there, and it will put a little pin there. So you can put something on a map that says, oh, this is where I died. And then you'll always have a little pin on the map remembering where you died. And last but not least is the sequencer layer. I'm not even going to worry about any of that because I don't ever use it. It's all about stuff for the system itself. So that is it. Any question on any of these icons? Were you guys able to follow? Was that too fast or anything like that?
Pretty decent to me.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? We have all of our players here. He's like way over there, isn't he? There he is. He's way up there. Another thing, I don't know if this works for you guys, but I know it works for the DM. But if you're on a map and you hit the Alt key, it'll actually highlight all the tokens on the map. So you'll be able to see where everybody is, even though sometimes it's hard to see because they're so zoomed out. The only other thing I want to say about the tokens is if you double click on the group token, which is the little D&D symbol, you'll see that I have all of you guys dragged onto this sheet as a group. And so that's an easy way for me to double click and see, hey, what's hit points like? What are some of your ability scores like? What's your defaults? And it'll keep track of it all right here for me. Also, travel paces and stuff like that, I can always go in there and edit things to allow me to determine, oh, this is how fast you can travel over land and how fast you can travel on sea and stuff like that. Cool.
Cool.
Anybody be surprised? Nobody has any questions whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I've had time to play with this longer, so for me,
Oh, yeah.
easier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I knew that some of you guys would have been working with them for a while. Is there anything that you guys, before I get too much into this, is there anything that you guys wanted to see or you would like me to show you how to do before we get into some of the more fun stuff? Like go over any of the things that I've covered. No?
I don't know how to delete the circles that I created.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm looking at too. Oh, you know what? I'm so stupid. I'm trying to delete. I'm like, why won't it let me delete it? Because I'm looking at it from the player's view and not the DM's view because I am an idiot. So I don't know if you have it. So you should be able to do the tokens you did, right? So what I want you to do is on the left-hand screen or the left-hand part of the screen and those left-hand tokens in the upper corner, the second one down that says measurement controls. If you click on that, you should see what you drew, and it should have this big bright star either in the middle of it or on the edge of it or something like that. Do you have? So if you
click that and hit the delete key, it would take it away.
Yep, exactly. Here we go. All gone. So that's how that works the same way as spells. So a spell will make you place a token down, or let's say you're casting shield or not shield, but say protection from something, or a lightning bolt, and you have to drag the template out on where you want that lightning bolt to go. It'll stay there forever until we delete it. So either I have to delete it or the caster. Oh, excuse me. So whoever put that down is the one that has to do it. All right. Who did we lose? We lost JB.
Side question on a lightning bolt: does it work in 5e like it does in 1e where it will bounce?
So I don't think that they have that necessarily as a rule. That is something that I personally like. So I don't, as far as effects go and it actually happening, it would not do it in the game. It would have to be me saying your lightning bolt only went 40 feet, hit the wall, and it came back, just far enough to hit you. And so, yeah. Cool. So I hope JB didn't get too bored with, saving throw instant death. There you go, monkey. So I guess, I don't know, JB either left us or, I don't know, but I'm going to keep on rolling along. I feel bad. Didn't even get through session 0 and we've already lost players. Monkey, get ready to roll up character, dude. I don't know. I'll talk. I'll find out what happened.
It died.
Is that what happened?
It could have.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I just, again, I know this is really dry and boring stuff and I really apologize. So if I'm getting too boring, you guys need to let me know. I just want to make sure my main thing for tonight was, like I said, 2 things. Number 1, go through the entire VTT, some of the rules and stuff, make sure that everybody had a good understanding of the expectations of the game. And then we're going to do a little bit of combat type stuff. And so that is where we are coming up to next. So now that we have all mastered everything that there is to know about Foundry and the Forge VTT, want to get into the combat stuff. So first of all, need to get rid of you boys. Well, excuse me. Set the VTT here. And what I'm going to do now is, as I said before, these 2 maps are open to you guys, the Sasserine map and the regional map. They are open to you guys to go to anytime you want. However, I can force you to go to a map by activating that map. And what that will do is it will take you from whatever map you're looking at and bring you to the map that I want you to look at. Now, that being said, because those other maps are still open, you can always put yourself back on that map. But at least for some brief moment in time, I play God and I drag you out of your house and I put you where I want you to be. And again, most times we don't have to worry about it. However, just be aware that if you accidentally click on a map and I'm talking about stuff or describing stuff and you don't see it, maybe that's why. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find a map for us to go hang out on for a little bit. And oops, wrong one. Let's try, where is it? That's why I wanted this one. This is the map that I wanted. So it should be pretty dark where you guys are. Matter of fact, I don't know if anybody can see anything except for the dwarf. Well, I should say 3 of you can see something, 2 of you cannot. So I know that Gage and Hacken, did I pronounce that right? Yep, and Hacken just cast light, and so if you were to look at the DM's version, but there is now a light circling him that shows what this room is like. This room has walls, obviously, and you cannot move through walls. And what are we dropping now? Dropping more light? All right. So what we're going to do is I want to get you guys a little bit of a feel for how combat works. So you can, like I said, you can see, this map itself doesn't have walls put on it. Doesn't look like, I'm looking to see. Yeah, it doesn't look like it has any walls put on it, which is good because I just wanted to be able to show you guys combat. Typically, you would not be able to see around the walls or anything like that or behind the door because there are walls and doors. But this particular map doesn't have them, but I only needed something to drop on for combat and stuff. So typically, I would set the scene as you guys come down the stairs. You enter into this large, dusty, moldy basement area that is partially supported by these several columns. You can see that there are a door leading into probably a closet space as well as a hallway leading into the other part of the basement. And from that area, I'm going to start learning characters' names now. From that area, Jordix, you can see movement in the shadow, dark figures, and you hear this sort of a sound like cracking bones as somebody's knees are cracking as they are walking toward you. And appearing out of the shadows, you watch as a pair of skeletal warriors donning old rusted armor and dragging heavy unused blades along with them. And then we would jump right into combat. So that's what we are going to do. We're going to take care of a little bit of a combat right now. And I am, oops, man, I got the wrong, started drawing walls. So what I'm going to do is I am going to place everybody in combat. So we will have a combat layer going. And so what I will do is I will tell everybody roll for initiative. And so on the right-hand side, if you go down the second one, the little crossed swords, you will see the combat tab. And you can click on the dice next to your name and it will roll initiative. So what I will do is I want to make sure everybody rolls their initiative. And waiting on, all right, Hacken is rolled. Got everybody? All right, so it looks like Edelbrook 14, Forge 14, Luan or Gage 9, Jordix 20. Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4. Why am I?
Paladin's not on there.
Oh, why is... That's weird. There we go. Let's try it again. Hacken, you want to roll for initiative? Sorry about that.
Go.
All right. So he'll go, and everybody's rolled, and then I will begin the encounter, and then why I don't know why it didn't roll, but so now the creatures that you are fighting are good to go. All right. So as we begin our combat, the first skeleton, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm actually going to go ahead and do a dash action. And he can only go 35, but he cannot attack. Jordix, you're up. So, if you have never done a VTT, all you have to do is right-click on the creature that you want to attack, or Shift-T, I think it is, and click on it, and it will target it, and it will put a little dot on it, the color of your icon. Then you open up your character sheet or however you're tracking your attacks, and you will click the item and it will pop open a window to roll the dice, and you just roll normal and it will then attack that creature with whatever ability it was that you were attacking with. So in this case, Jordix, you've got plenty of things that you can use. In your inventory, you can do your daggers, or you can do a spell if you want to cast a spell. Looks like you don't have any of your first level spells assigned. That kind of sucks. You didn't pick any of your spells when you were doing your character? Oh, wait, is that JB? JB was Jordix? I think so. All right, so I am just going to attack him with the dagger. And I'll roll for Jordix. Oh, that, man. I had that natural 20 there, but it didn't.
You gotta love those dice rolls.
I know. As the dagger strikes the creature, but unfortunately does no damage due to the fact that it is all skin and bones, or all bones anyway. Hakon, you are up. So don't forget, if you want to move, you have to select the person token on the very far left-hand side. You were probably doing some movement or stuff.
Click here.
Yep. On the, yep.
And now you can pull them.
Yep. Right. You've moved a total of 25 feet, so you got 5 more feet of movement that you don't want to. You're going to attack the skeleton too. All right, so it looks like you've targeted him, and then just click whatever item you're attacking with and roll the dice. There we go. Ah, I like it. As you swing, but you miss the skeleton. And typically I'll be narrating stuff, but I'm not going to get too much into it tonight. Edelbrock, you are up. And we are going through a full combat because I want you to see just how crappy these things can be. Nice.
Fine, you little pointy-eared goblin.
All right. So if you attack, you have to roll the attack first to hit, right? There we go. As the attack misses.
Oh, that
I
was
like
a 20.
Yep, that's what I said. Mine did too. It hit 20 and then it rolled back into an 8. All right. As your witch bolt strikes out, catching the corner of the building, but the skeleton is just a little too nimble, believe it or not. Forged flint fire, you are up.
Quick question. It shows me as concentrating right now. My witch bolt didn't hit. Does that mean I still attack with it?
Actually, that's a good question. I don't think.
Yes, which bolt gives you automatic damage?
Yeah, if I hit, but I didn't hit.
Yeah, he didn't hit, so he shouldn't be concentrating anymore. So I'm going to say.
I double check the spell. I think you automatically do damage, whether you hit or miss.
Well, that's, you have to hit it the first time though. You hit it the first time, and then the witch bolt stays stuck to you, and then
I think under the new rules, it sticks to him, but he didn't do damage the first round, but the second round he can try to. If I remember the rules correctly.
I'm going to have to look at, and this is one of the things, that's probably a couple of the other rules.
It says right here, on each subsequent turn, you take a bonus action, deal 1d12 damage to the target automatically, even if the first attack missed.
Really?
Yep,
See,
it's in the spell.
Yep. So these are some of the rules that I hate, but okay. Because I don't do every time you take a long rest, humans get inspiration. I don't do that. There's a couple other things. I thought I put them in the guide, but there's just a few things, like one of the spells that they've got out. But anyway, I won't talk about it. But some of the spells in some of the new books.
Warhammer back.
Oh, see, I suppose.
No.
See,
I'm about to try to smack them, but I don't have my warhammer.
All right, let me. All right, let me go get it. Sorry, I was new.
Yeah, I cast a witch bolt before, so that's how come I knew.
Yeah, that's just kind of
It's
weird.
first round.
Yeah, it's to me. To me, it's just I don't know that I like. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. I don't like one of the other things that I don't like is where they. You should have it now, dude. Oh, it's a different Warhammer. Weird. Oh,
Yeah, what the hell? No, okay, that's fine.
yeah. Okay, it's all right.
It works.
Anyway, some of the things like the mastery stuff where even if you miss, you hit and do damage. Yeah, no, you don't. It's just I don't get it. Oh, you hit. I need to reinstall some of the modules that I had that do the automatic effects that are really cool. Go ahead and do your damage, sir. Nice. As you slam down, as the skeleton gets brought way down, but not quite enough. As you smash into it, watching pieces of it fly everywhere, but somehow this thing is still hopping on one leg.
Damn it.
As this, as this skeleton comes in, attacking our paladin. As the skeleton hits.
Ooh, flanking attack.
I don't do flanks. As he suffers 5 hit points of damage from the skeletal attack. Gage, you're up.
Alright. I would probably fight him, but I want to practice with a spell. So I'm going to use the grease spell,
Okay.
because that's a distance.
Okay.
And there's 2 more skeletons coming towards us.
Yeah, they're you don't necessarily see them, but yes, there are 2 more on the other side.
I just want to see how the area effects work.
Okay.
So casting. Oh, it did give me a.
Yeah, you have to select once you drop the measured template, it'll automatically select which one is
Right
what. Yeah, hang on, let me
So
do
that covers. Did I do that right?
Yep. Looks like.
Okay, and then what's going on here?
So select both the tokens that you've got it wrapped around.
It doesn't let me.
Is it Shift T for them both?
Yeah, you should be able to hold the shift button and select.
Maybe I am on a Mac, so again I'm.
Yep, no worries.
playing with some learning.
What I will do is I will select them here, and I'll select them there. All right.
Okay. And then.
Yeah, I've got them both selected, and then you do just click DC 14 Dexterity Saving Throw because I've selected them both. And it should, if you're not looking in the chat, in the game chat, these cards will pop up, and they will show you what you can
right.
do. And that will. Why did it give you a dexter? Oh, because you selected you. So if I were to do it, I was just trying to help to see how this worked because I'm not sure about the grease spell. But usually when you place a measured template down, it automatically selects whatever creatures are in there for you. But this time it didn't, so I'll have to see why. But I have selected them both, so it's showing on my screen that I have 2 skeletons selected. So if I go Dex Saving Throw, it should roll it twice. Once for one skeleton, once for the other skeleton. And one passed and one failed. So then I will.
So a failure is a fall prone.
Right.
A pass is there at half movement.
Right. So, but yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, you'll have to kind of practice on seeing how that works because, like I said, when you put it down, it should have selected them, and then when you click the dice or the roll for saving throw, it should automatically roll for the 2 creatures that were selected, but I didn't see it being selected for you. Who else has the
That's
green
why I
one?
wanted to use the spells. To see how
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you want to, I can always go back here, and I've just refunded your spell if you want to do it again. Let me get rid of this first and see if you can select them again. So like I said, when you go ahead and cast this because I refunded your spell. So cast the spell, place the measured template, and then when you're done placing it, it should select the 2 with your sort of purpley kind of a color.
Okay.
So when you drop it on it is, yeah, I don't know why it's not selecting them. I don't know why. Interesting.
Maybe
Yeah, I'm looking to
like
see.
your refund resource, does that give it back? To
Yeah,
me?
it gives you the spell back. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if I should select. Oops.
Well, yeah, it's like I said though. Usually, when you on a measured template, when you drag and drop the spell there, it usually
You know what? That's. Did it work now? Okay, let me try that. That might be, like I said, I'm on the Mac, so it's doing
Yeah.
some different codes.
Yep.
I'm trying a different one here.
Yep, no worries. So yeah, maybe if you select them both and then drop the measured template on top of them.
Let's try it now. Thanks for your patience, everybody.
No, this is why we're, like I said, I didn't expect to do anything tonight but go through the VTT, the rules, and do a combat just to make sure everybody. I do have one little thing toward like the end of tonight that I wanted to do, but other than that.
Nope, what's it do me as a. Don't know. Rolling for me again, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so whenever you target a creature, the color that your token is will show up on there. So if you look right now, you have that kind of a lavender kind of a color. So whenever you target a creature, at the very top of its token, you'll see the little dot. So that means that you did not have them selected. So again,
So one of them has a green dot, and one of them has a red dot.
yeah, that's why I asked. Yeah, that's why I asked folks when you're done, deselect the creatures you were attacking so that we can avoid any kind of confusion or whatever. So it looks like Edelbrock had one, and now they're gone. So now we're good. So
Sorry about that.
no, dude, you're fine. No, we're good. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to cast the same spell off of your sheet there, Gage, and I want to see what it does for me. We have to move them over here a little. All right. So you were trying to cast Grease, right? Which is what level spell? First level. All right, we'll refund that resource. So I am going to cast Grease. First level. Cast spell. Yeah, so what you have to do is, all right, so I've dropped, you can see that I dropped the little box where they're at. So then I click on the one skeleton, and then if I hold the shift button and I click on the other skeleton, they're both selected. All right, so I don't think it shows it on here because they're not really, it's not an attack, but they're both selected. If you, I don't know, does it show in everybody's chat? No, it doesn't. Only, yeah, in,
Doesn't show selected on mine.
yeah. So when I look at it, it shows 2 skeletons are selected in the chat, and then I can just go DC 14 dexterity saving throw. It'll roll it once, and then I'll click again for roll the second one. All right, so they both failed. So all I have to do as a DM, do apply it to those tokens. And now both of those tokens you can see have that little icon on them, meaning that they are prone because they failed their saving throw. So both of them are prone right now. And again, I'm sorry that it's not, usually from everything that I've seen on the other times, is when you place the template, any creature in that template gets selected. So like if you do a web, every creature in the web area gets selected. I don't know why the grease one doesn't do that, but what you can do is you can put it down, and then you can see, oh, well, who's trapped in there? And then you can click, you just have to, you could probably click and target each one, and it'll do the same thing. So if I were to refund this, and again, we're just playing with this until we get it kind of figured out, because I don't want it to go too far. And I'm going to get rid of that block again. Okay, and I'm going to deselect the 2 skeletons that I selected. And then I'm going to pick on Gauge again, and I'm going to cast it again. And there's Grease. Cast spell. Place the template. Target. Yeah, you actually have to like physically click them. You can't target them. It's weird that it does it that way. So essentially, I don't know if it works on a Mac, but if you do the shift and click the and then shift click on the creature. So, and if you hold it and then click on the other creature, it'll select multiple creatures at once. I'm hoping that it does it for a Mac too. But like I said, if I hold the shift button down and then I click the token and then I click the other token, it selects them both. Then I can go DC 14 dex save. And so I don't care if they pass. I'm going to apply the effect anyway, because they both failed last time. And then we can move on. And we can come around, make sure that everybody's got it. Yeah, it's like I said, the shift, holding the shift button and then clicking on the token is what selects. So anyway, so.
And then I noticed when I'm in the attack mode, it covers up the chat, which is how I missed that grease popping up there.
Oh, yeah.
Am I able to have both of those screens up at the same time?
The which screens you're looking for?
In combat, then it removes the chat.
Oh, yeah. So it's just a different tab. You don't necessarily, the combat one is only to see what order and stuff is. There's no need for you to even be on there if you don't want to be. And so you can stay on chat. Another thing that I didn't show you guys, but there's really quick. If you open your character sheet, Gauge, in the upper right-hand corner, you see the X. Right next to it is a little thing that says pop out. Now, this is for people that have multiple screens, because otherwise your stuff will be left in the confines of a single screen. That pop out lets you move things to another screen and out of your way, which I do all the time as a DM. So, but anyway, yeah, so definitely need to figure out the things for the Mac as opposed to what the key bindings are for you, because I've never worked with a Mac on this.
Foundry, and I'm sure somebody else is probably doing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that their stuff is fine.
So then I just in turn to pass it to.
Yeah, all you have to do is tell me. Said, hey man, no, you're good. Yeah, you're fine. So, and now the other skeleton as you watch as another one comes charging up to the paladin.
And then he'll need to make a dex check.
Oh, thank you for that. Let me really quick. It's a DC 14. As he fails, so he too is now prone, if I can find out where it's at.
Yeah, he would be prone where he entered it, according to the way it
Yep.
reads.
Yeah. Where is it? There's a prone one in here somewhere. Grapple, incapacitated. Prone. There we are. He is prone, and I will move him back 5 feet. All right. There's the other skeleton. 10, 15, 20, 25. Just outside. As they go back to the top of the order. As the skeleton, barely alive, barely in one tact, I should say, or barely intact, swings its blade. And I don't hear the sound. I'm kind of disappointed. As a nat 1 misses the paladin. As Jordix is going to target. Oops, didn't want to hit the paladin. I forgot that I had him targeted. Oops. All right. Did he hit? Hits the skeleton. There we go. Oh, so he does 3 to the skeleton. Oh, still not enough. All right, Mr. Paladin, you are up. The skeleton's on its last legs. It is battered, bruised, and falling apart. But you do have another one laying prone next to you. Actually, you have advantage on the attack of either skeleton to your right or left because they are both prone.
I'm showing him how to use advantage here. Correct.
Oh, 11. Just a bit outside as your halberd misses the skeleton. Hobgoblin, you are up. Edelbrock, you can see that these skeletons are prone, falling due to the thick layer of grease laid on the floor by Gage. But it's so slippery and slimy over there, even the paladin's having a hard time keeping his footing.
Damn human can't even hit the broadside of a barn.
15 as you hit with the word of radiance.
Damn goblinoid does better than a human.
Yep. I don't know why it had you do it, but I need to. It's anything within 5 feet, right? Is that word of radiance? That's a con save on anything. Oh, just so you know, they are way outside your range because they have to be within 5 feet of you for that word of radiance. So you have to be within.
Can't hear him. So.
Oh, can't hear me?
No, I can't hear him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. So that word of radiance, that's interesting. It says it has to be within 5 feet of you. I don't know why they would say that you can like place it way over there. You have to be within. You have to move up to them, or at least near them, to cast the spell, and then anything within 5 feet of you is what takes the word of radiance. So there you go. So at least this one right here will go. So if you just click on the skeletal token next to you. You don't have to select it or anything. Well, I mean, you don't have to target it. Just click on it, and then put in the chat box. There is a DC 14 con save. Click that button that's in the chat.
Yeah, but it's an AOE effect, ain't it?
Yeah, it's an AOE, but it's 5 feet from you. So the only skeleton that's within. What's that?
I said so. It's automatically centered on me.
Yeah, it says right. It literally says a burning radiance erupts from you in a 5-foot emanation. So anything within 5 feet of you is that you can see takes that damage. You don't place a template like 30 feet away like some other spells. It has to come right off of you.
Oh, that's not as much fun.
It is if there's a whole bunch of creatures around you. Nice. As the thing hits. So now you've hit it. So go ahead and click damage. And for your damage.
That actually does not show damage.
In the. Really, I'm looking at it. It says damage. It's interesting.
I got
Yeah,
26 to hit, but I don't see anything that says damage.
Yeah, right above it, it has the attack box, and then it says damage with it.
No, it doesn't show that on me.
Really?
Oh, never mind. Okay, I got never mind. Different
Yeah.
box.
Yep. When you it's the one above it. When you click damage, it'll say and just hit critical hit.
I was gonna say now's a good time to ask: is spells get criticals?
Yes. Oh yeah. Attacking spells get crits. Look at there. Nice. So I was looking to see what it. Yep. So it did what it was supposed to. So you rolled a 4 on your 10-sided, plus 4 is 8, and I do the max damage on a crit. So if you hit with a sword, you roll your damage as a normal, and it then takes whatever the maximum damage of the sword could have been and adds that to whatever you rolled. So you do max damage of the blade plus whatever you rolled. So in this case, you did 18. I need to select skeleton and apply. And skeleton 1 is gone. All right. Forge. Let's see if he can hit something this time, Shorty.
Like I didn't miss, huh? Let's see. Let's just try to do something a little different then. Let's see.
Channel Divinity. There you go.
Yep. Radiant damage. Let's go. Got to make a DC 14 Constitution save.
Yep.
Throw, huh?
So select each one. Just click each one. You don't have to target them, I don't think. If you just shift click on each one that you're targeting with that, and then click DC 14 Con, and you'll have to click however many saving throws that you targeted. So if you target 3 of them.
For a side note, the skeleton I blew apart with the Eldritch Blast, was that the one I had the Witch Bolt on?
No.
Because as a
Good.
bonus action, my Witch Bolt will go off.
Okay. That's actually a good point. It's interesting that even though you missed, it still lets you.
I think this only targets one person.
And it also takes up his concentration.
Well, that is my concentration, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Divine Spark only targets one creature. As I read it.
Yep, it is only one. So go ahead and pick one and go ahead and just have to
Okay.
click.
You want me?
Yeah, you do it. Yeah, you just need to select it and then do the save, and it fails at save, but you targeted yourself. It's weird. Click on.
Wait, no, because I
know.
I have the skeleton targeted.
Yeah, you don't. The targeting doesn't do it. You just have to click it. So it's like you're clicking on it, but you're like It's really weird how they do this. If you target it, it won't do it. But if you just click the skeleton and then go roll 14 click the button again, it'll roll the save for the creature. So just click it so it highlights it, and then go click DC 14. You'll see what I mean. It'll roll it for the skeleton. Wow, that is okay. So maybe I have to do it. Let me look and see if it'll do it. I didn't think the DM would have to do it. I want you guys to do it. Yeah. All right. So the skeleton failed. So go ahead and now you do have it targeted. So make sure it's targeted and then hit damage. That's weird that it's making me do the save. Usually it lets the player do it too. 2 hit points of damage.
Yes, it's radiant.
Yeah. So it actually they're not suggestive to or resist. I mean, what's the other word? Not resistant, but whatever the other one is. Why did it not take off the hit points? Click the skeleton. Should be 2 off. It's weird. It didn't take it off. I don't know why it didn't, but he's at 0.
I just deselected it.
That's right. He's at 0 now, so it's weird. I don't know why it did that. That's bizarre. All right. See, this is why we do this, man. We start working this stuff out. All right, Gage, you're up. This is why we do this stuff, man. Sorry, go ahead.
On the side note, I do think that was a skeleton I hit with the witch bolt, so I'm going to cancel the concentration.
Okay.
And on a Mac, you triple right-click, or I'm sorry, you double right-click to select, triple to unselect, and you use the Alt key.
Okay, I'm glad you're figuring this out because I'm not a Mac guy.
I've selected a skeleton. It's got 4 arrows pointing on it.
Okay. Yep. That means you have it targeted.
Selected.
That means you have it targeted.
So then I was going to use where'd it go? True Strike, channeling radiant damage, and use the bow.
Okay.
So I could just do the bow.
Yep. It's kind of. I was looking at this, man. It's actually kind of cool when you cast it. Oh,
Yeah,
11. I'm going to say you hit anyway. I'm going to say you hit anyway.
We're at disadvantage. He's prone.
Yeah, you're right. So roll again because you are correct. You should have had advantage on that attack. Oh, that's even worse. All right, but I'm going to say you hit anyway, so go ahead and do the damage. This will be the one and only time that I cheat for you guys. Nice.
So 6 points damage?
Yep, and it took 6 points off of it. Go ahead and fire again. I'll give you another shot. 2 shots just like in D&D First Edition.
The best edition.
Advantage or disadvantage?
It is advantage because he is prone. And you still suck. And you... Welcome. I am so glad that I have players that still can't roll. I love it. This is going to be such a quick campaign.
That's why I'm not a fighter.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir. You still have movement.
I'm going to move.
Yep.
I can move back 5 feet here, and then end my turn. And do you want me to hit the end turn or just tell you?
No, absolutely. You can end turn. Yeah, that's however you want to do it because it'll automatically.
No bonus actions and end of turn.
Okay. As this skeleton is going to use half of its movement. Well, it's going to crawl and slide over here. And he's going to use his other, and that's 5 feet. And he's going to use his other half of movement, so 15 feet to stand up. And he's not moving, but he's attacking the Palladian. Come on. If it was just in the corner. If it wouldn't have hit that corner, it would have been a hit.
I just like the fact that he's a big target.
Yes, he is a big target. All right. As the other skeleton is going to come charging in. And first things first. He failed it's a DC 14, right?
Correct.
All right, so he goes nowhere because he is now prone. And we go back to the top of the order as the gnome is going to come here and he's just going to target. Of course not. Sure he only gets one attack. Yep. All right. All right. Haken. How do you pronounce it? Is it Haken, Haken, Hakon? Or we just call you Valkyr?
Hakon. Is
Hakon.
the pronunciation.
Okay. All right. I will try to remember that, but I won't. So you're going to have to continue to remind me till I figure it out. It took me almost a year to get Nilo's name down.
Will you hit something finally?
Apparently
Bring us to
not.
Stick around.
Apparently not. By the way,
You
those,
leave the cobwebs alone.
those red dice are on point. I like those dice. Hey, Con, you got you still have movement available? Do you want to move, or you just want to stay where you're at? Just gonna stay where you're at.
Sorry.
Can I use my bonus action to restore 5 hit points to myself?
Yes, you
with my
can.
hands?
Yep, absolutely. If you just
Target yourself.
make sure you don't target the
I'm not gonna go back.
the skeleton. There you go. You are now targeted.
Now. And there you go.
Oh, snap. What's up, Josh? I didn't even notice that Josh was out there. What's up, little boy?
To change your HP? Huh. He hit use it, but it didn't seem to change his HP.
Okay, let me see. You went to, it's a feature, right? And
Class feature, yep.
lay on hands. It says that you already. I'm gonna be the. I'll give you the 10 back. So it's back to 10. So let me see.
Try it again. He just refunded your points, so
A 1 plus 4.
Yeah, and now, okay, there we go. And now I had to apply.
there you go.
Boom. Yeah. So whenever you do it, and that's another thing that you guys will have to keep me honest about is a lot of times, anytime you do damage and anytime you're doing healing, I have to click the apply. So that allows us the flexibility if something goes wrong, or oh crap, I didn't do that, or I meant to do something else. We just refund the resource as opposed to trying to figure out how many hit points did they get and all that stuff. So, yep. So it took them off, and you are healed, and now we're done. All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, Elbrock, you can see that there are still 2 of these heinous creatures left. One of them is prone. Well, both of them are. Well, one is prone. The other is no longer prone. So the one right in front of you is no longer prone. The one on the far wall is prone. So you have advantage on the one on the far side. You do not have advantage on the one right in front of you.
And there's a lot of grease between you and the far one.
And there's a lot of grease between you and the far one. You drop a bonfire on them and cook them.
Yeah. It's like, who put grease where we're fighting?
Grease is non-flammable, it said.
You know
I thought
what?
about doing that.
You know, we need to go back to first edition because I'm going to start bringing back a bunch of rules.
Web is flammable, but it said grease wasn't.
What's that?
I said web is flammable, but it said grease wasn't.
Yeah, we don't care about what it says. It's what the intent is and what we want it to do. So anyway, you are up, sir.
Well, if you want to cook them,
I
no problem.
I play fast and loose with the rules, man. As long as we're having fun, who cares? All right, so all you have to do is place that measured template. Ooh, good spot. And then
I hit the DC.
now I will do it. I have to select. Ooh, half damage and full damage. All right, so go ahead and roll damage. All right. Edelbrock doesn't take any. That skeleton, I'm not sure which one he is, but he takes half damage. All right. So you can deselect one skeleton for he is gone. So the one that was right in front of you that's next to Hakon is consumed with the flame as you watch as the bonfire begins small, but suddenly the grease ignites around both of the skeletons, creating a black, thick, choking smoke that begins to flow up and around them and around you guys, in fact, as it starts to spread to the ceiling and the smoke begins to permeate, but the one skeleton is completely engulfed. The other one partially engulfed as it manages to slide just ever so slightly sideways, still aflame, but nowhere near as its companion in front of it.
Thank God I'm short.
Forge, you are up. Run at him, man. Run at him right through the fire. You go, Smokey Bear.
Yeah. I don't think I want to burn today. Let's see. Let's see what we want to do here. Yeah. All right. Back with this again.
All right. It has to make a con save.
Yep.
Okay. Epic fail. Go ahead and do damage, and I shall apply it. A whopping 2 hit points. I love it. 2 down.
I haven't missed though.
2 down.
Missed.
8 to go. Gage, you're up.
Right, hey Con.
I'll start with movement.
Okay.
Oop, maybe. Here.
I remove your target, by the way.
Oh yes,
I'm
thank
gonna
you.
Target the one against the wall. Is he still prone?
He is still prone, yes.
And rinse and repeat. So I will do. And I still can't.
Yes, you hit. I'm going to say you hit. I just want to get this over.
He doesn't have his dexterity bonus unless they have a flat AC.
What's that?
So technically, prone, he doesn't have his dexterity bonus unless they just have a flat AC.
Yeah. But,
I'm still rolling pretty bad.
yeah, exactly. Nice. 9 hit points of damage.
Radiant.
Nice. Why is it radiant? Why is it radiant? Just out of curiosity.
I'm using True Strike.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and deselect him. Go ahead and deselect him as the last of the skeletons falls, leaving you guys once again standing alone in this strange underground whatever this place is. Let me get the music out of here.
I claim 2.5 kills. It's Hobgoblin superiority right there.
Yep. As you guys
Practice on hitting.
Yep, as you guys look around and you see
I'm gonna have to tell Crazy Aunt that her grease spell comes through again.
I still
I
can't
told
get
her I
over
wanted
of 120
the
dark
fire
vision.
she taught me grease.
That's okay.
Hey, Hakon, there's a wall there. Can you think you can hit it?
There is still another portion of this empty basement chamber to explore. Do we continue exploring or do we depart for greener pastures?
Explore.
Explore.
Okay. As I said, you can see that this side of the chamber is long and thin. The other side seems to open up. In this side, you can find that there is a myriad of mud and muck, some cobwebs and detritus over in the far corner, slime, big, huge patches of slime and muck over here with glinting, what appears to be metallic small objects peppered throughout these places.
What color is the slime?
It's really not slime per se. It's just muddy and mucky and black and whatnot.
I'll search this over here.
As soon as Edelbrock gets close to this patch of mud and muck, suddenly rising up out is this thick, rolling patch of gray ooze. Everybody, once again.
I guess.
Once again.
So I guess now,
Roll
how does reactions work?
What's that?
How do reactions work?
So essentially what would happen is if you were to have an action readied, then I would allow it to be triggered depending on, because you're not surprised or anything like that. So,
Well, I'm asking because of my hellish rebuke is if I get hit.
oh yeah, if you get hit, but so that would exactly be it. So what'll happen is something will hit you, and then you will determine I want to do hellish rebuke, and then you just go into your spells and do hellish rebuke and target it, and that's exactly how it would work. So, okay, and just because we did not have enough fun with the last batch of crap rolls, we're going to try again as Gage. You watch as Edelbrock and Forge begin kind of poking their way around some of this gunk and slime down here. And as soon as Edelbrock pokes at the slime pokes back. The hobgoblin takes a step back, quickly getting his foot out of the muck. And he isn't quite as fast as you are, so you get first dibs.
Don't touch the muck. Rule number 1. All right. I'll shoot it with the bow.
Okay.
My people live in filth like this. It's normal.
I'm determined to try to roll something.
You hit. As you hit. As you hit.
Really?
Yep. So, even though I don't like using the mastery rules, the next time you target it, you will do or you get advantage on your. Actually, is it you or the next person?
No, it's
You have advantage.
for the next turn.
You have advantage on your next attack roll. Against. See, it says you have, but I always thought it was the next person did. But I guess you do. Okay. As the 6 hit points are taken off. You stay where you're at, or you moving?
I stay where I'm at.
All right. Okay. Forge, you are up.
Alrighty. I'm going to step back a little bit here. Let's see. Why am I? There we go. And then I'm going to cast a spell.
What?
Well, Hakon can't hit a fucking thing. I might as well bless him.
You can bless everybody. I think you could do
yes.
3. You could do
6
3 up to 3 at
3.
second level. Or is it? How many is it? I forget.
3.
Okay.
It's 3. Wait, character sheet back
Not
up.
sure why, but Edelbrock, you targeted yourself.
I know.
Okay.
That's
Wasn't sure what you were doing. Just want to make sure.
first level 3. If I move it to a second level, then I can get one more, but that's good right there.
Okay. And see, I'm going to, yeah, I have some really cool effects, but I don't have the module installed for this game. I had it installed in my other games, but I got to get it installed in this game. But,
Oh, I remember when I cast Big V's Clenched Fist and critted with it.
yep. Yep, exactly. All right. Is that it for you?
That is it for me.
All right. Hakon, you are blessed. Let's see you do your worst.
1. In reality, it was a curse.
Yeah. All right. As he, you didn't target the creature, but you hit. So you need to target it, and now just click damage. You don't have to roll again. Just hit the damage. It'll apply the damage.
Oh, by the way, I have a +3 to hit.
Let's see. On your
I was going to say, it should calculate in there.
on the halberd. It's a
Oh, wait,
plus
but
4.
he said he had +3 to hit. But
You got a
I have +3.
yeah. You got a +4 though.
you
It
click
gave
on
you
the guy. Okay. Yes. Yep.
nicely done.
Shit, he finally hit something.
Yeah, I like it. I had to look and see.
Apparently your guy didn't help you as much as mine did. I'm going to
All
have
right,
fun with my character.
so
I'm sorry.
as you, Hakon, you watch as your halberd slams into this thing, you suddenly see this smoking sort of film rising up off the end of your halberd as you realize that this acidic creature is now eating away at your halberd. And the actual effect is, it says, any non-magical weapon made of metal that hits the ooze corrodes. After dealing damage, the weapon takes a permanent and cumulative -1 penalty to damage rolls. If its penalty drops to -5, the weapon is destroyed. Non-magical ammunition made of metal that hits the ooze is destroyed after dealing damage. The ooze can eat through 2 inches thick of non-magical metal in 1 round. So your halberd, while doing significant damage, now will do a tad bit less significant damage as you get a -1 to your damage roll whenever you roll damage with a halberd. Edelbrock, as you jump back, sort of slipping a little bit, causing you to be last in line for initiative, but first in line for being pissed off about stepping on gray poop.
Okay, I have a +3 to hit. How do I add this into my witch bolt?
It should automatically add it. What's the +3 from?
It's this feat, Fortune of the Many.
Okay.
Yeah, +1 for each ally that's within 30 feet of me.
So do not apply anything and roll it and see if the system automatically applies. If it doesn't, we'll just add it. Crit.
Back.
Nice.
Why did it roll D4?
Because you have bless on you.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So
Like it added the +3, but I guess it doesn't matter at this point.
yeah, so it gave you a total of +6, 4 for something and 2 for another, but I am not sure. But we can definitely check out and see how that or why it did not get applied. All right, so go ahead and do your damage. Oh yeah, that's going to do a lot. I like those 3, 1, 2, 3. Did 15? All right.
Yep.
As you take care of the ooze, as the last of the creatures down here have been removed from their ability to cause pain and suffering upon the world, as you guys are all alone now.
It's 3.5 kills.
3.5 kills. Oh yeah, but who's counting? Apparently you. All right.
You're welcome for the assistance, Goblin.
I think I had it without it.
All right. Guys, got any questions about the combat? I mean, there's obviously always going to be logistic stuff. Then why did it work this way, or why is it not working that way? If you haven't done VTT stuff before, there is, especially with spells, there is some stuff like that. I have a little bit of work to do to make sure that I get my modules and stuff installed. If you guys were putting custom items to track your cantrips and stuff with, don't worry about that. Just get rid of it. I would rather you just keep track on a little piece of paper until I get my module done. It should be done by next week. I almost got it done yesterday. Everything works, but it wasn't decrementing properly. It reset correctly. It figured out the right value to use on everybody. But for some reason, when I cast a cantrip, like the attack ones would work, but like bonfire or some of the other ones that I was trying were not working. But if you open up your character sheet and you look, it'll be right on the left-hand side at the bottom, right above the favorites, or right above favorites, between favorites and your hit dice where that is. There will be a little thing that says cantrip counter, and it'll show you 16 out of 16 remaining. And every time you cast a cantrip, it'll automatically decrement it. So you guys won't have to have any kind of a custom item. It'll just be a built-in module that I've got used. And I think that'll be a lot easier. And then I'm going to maybe expand it out a little bit just to show like maybe a configuration thing where I can set it to use your ability modifier, as opposed, maybe you get your ability score plus your modifier numbers of times, or whatever the case may be. But anyway, I just want to make sure that most of you guys have done some kind of VTT, it sounds like, at least. But damn, look at Josh go. My son just posted in Discord his internet speed. He's getting 2457 download. He's got the 3 gig stuff, so it's crazy. Oh, not him. Sorry, not my son. It was Ross. For those that were in our last campaign, for our first edition campaign. So anyway, you guys have any questions about like the VTT itself, or any of the house rules, or the schedule, or anything like that?
No, everything seems pretty clear.
Yep, as you do this more, because when I first started, I had a hard time figuring everything out, but it just starts to fill in naturally, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes.
Yeah, I just think the hardest one for me is going to be the Mac stuff, because I've never used a Mac. I mean, I've used a Mac, but not for gaming, of course. So I would not be able to help answer anything when it comes to that.
Does an apple
There was
two
a help
count?
forum.
Yeah.
There was a help forum. I went into it when we were
Yeah.
in our first battle.
Yeah, dude, just absolutely as much as you need. All right. So I'm guessing then what I'm going to do is sort of set the prelude for next session. Usually, if you guys have watched the stream, and I think a lot of people do this that play on D&D online, usually about 9:30 during the stream, I'll take a break between 10 and 15 minutes. So you can just kind of prepare for that. We start at 7:30, usually about 15 minutes because I'm a long-winded and like to hear myself talk. About 15 minutes of talking the general stuff, what's gone before and all the stuff about the stream and all that and stuff. Like I said, I encourage you to go out to Twitch if you're not watching the stream, because if nothing else, you can see what people are saying and interact with the folks out there, and that's always kind of cool. But I don't say you have to, right? If you strictly want to come here and game, totally fine by me. A couple of the players I made moderators and stuff, so they show up and they go out there and they bounce people, because I get so involved with what I'm doing, I completely forget to see what chat's talking about and stuff. So that's another big thing.
What
Is
other game nights that you have?
I do Monday night. Monday night is every Monday, and then this one's every other Friday. So, but to that, technically this was supposed to be our off week because I wanted to do this last week, but we had issues. So our first official game is next Friday, and then every other Friday after that. Is that okay with everybody? Is everybody good with that schedule? Is there anybody going to miss? Do we have anything that we need to go over before that?
I think that works for me. Let's see.
I should be good.
Okay.
So we're playing on the 20th and then on March 6th.
Let's see. That is correct.
Yeah, the 20th should be fine. I should be home because the woman's having some surgery and she's
Oh.
going to be
Okay.
just sitting and chilling.
Yep. So we do it the 6th. And then just so people are aware, in March, my son is getting married. So I will not be able to play the 20th. So we'll have it the 6th, and then we won't come back till probably the 27th. So, not 27th, the 3rd. So, because usually what will happen is, unless you guys all want to play, like on an off week, which I'm fine with, usually I'll just say if we skip a week, it's going to be an extra couple weeks till we play. This game is very kind of low and slow paced. I don't want it to be where, oh crap, we got to get here and we got to, every week we got to go or whatever. My intent is to be kind of easygoing and laid back, and most of my games are. But I hope it's not too slow of a pace for you guys, right? A lot of people want a game 5 nights a week, and that's just not me. And the other thing that I have is I have a wife that she's like, you're already gaming 3 nights a week. I'm like, I know. So, but it's really only 2. It's 3 every other week. But anyway, so anyway, so like I said, I just want to kind of get into a prelude for next session. As I said, my big thing is pay attention to the Discord if you can. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I really don't want it to be where you show up the night of the game to realize a bunch of stuff that you needed to do, or we were trying to get stuff, or we can't play and you didn't get the word right. So I don't expect.
AK.
Yep. Exactly. AK.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Sorry.
dude, no. And
I did turn the notifications on, even though I get bombarded with work stuff constantly.
Yeah, no, so, dude, I get you, and I understand y'all, right? I do, and I knew it would sound like I was picking on you specifically, but I'm not. I just
sure.
If you've never done online, that's the other thing that can be a little bit of a pain. Is you need to stay invested. If you're finding yourself it's difficult for you to stay engaged or invested, you need to let me know, because either A, we need to change how we're doing the game and make things more interesting to you, or maybe I'm just not the DM for you, and I don't want you guys to suffer through, and then halfway through the game you're like, I really just don't dig this. I don't have an ego. I do, but I don't have an ego to the point where, like, I would be upset if somebody said, "Hey, dude, I appreciate it, but just not for me." I've had it happen all the time, and so I would rather you guys because my whole thing is I want you guys to have fun. So just let me know. So during the game, all I ask is that you stay engaged. Between games, all I ask is that you periodically poke your head over the fence to see what's going on and pop you over and say, "Hey, neighbor." And other than that, I got nothing. Cool. All right. So I wish I knew what happened to him. I just get a feeling that I'm going to get word saying, "Yeah, I was just bored with what we were doing and I don't want to do anymore." I hope that's not the case, but we shall see what we shall see. In the meantime, I'm going to set the stage for next week if I can figure out how to get to where I wanted to go. I'm going to set the stage for next week, and then hopefully, let me get rid of this. Okay. All right. So here is the only real true monologue that I have. I can talk a lot, but this is my only true monologue. So I ask that you bear with me, because I worked long and hard on this just for you guys. Just kidding. It is the last day of Growfest, the common year 596, with the sultry breath of low summer beginning to settle over the port town of Sasserine. The tropical sun claws through scattered clouds, baking the whitewashed walls and crimson rooftops as they simmer, while humid gusts from Jacklea Bay to the north carry the sharp tang of salt and kelp, mingling with the cloying perfume of jungle orchids spilling over from the endless Amedio jungles to the south, west, and east. A brief morning squall has just drenched the streets of the city, leaving slick cobblestones that stream underfoot and puddles in the shade of palm-thatched awnings. Distant thunder grumbles over the verdant canopy of the jungle like a god's own bellyache, promising the monsoon season's full fury in the few weeks to come. The city harbor now groans with life, creaking rigging, shouting stevedores, heaving spice crates, gulls wheeling up and over and about the bobbing galleons anchored there. But Sassarine's pulse quickens with a hard-won edge, forged in the fires of last year's cataclysm, which has come to be known as the Age of Worms. It began with the whispers of the Ebon Triad, a demonic cult worshipping Erythnal, the Many, Vecna, the Whispered One, and Hextor, the Herald of Hell, whose rituals tore open fissures all over the Flennes, unleashing plagues of writhing undead worm spawn. These segmented green horrors burrowed into the living, twisting the flesh into undead abominations, while legions of zombies and worse shambled up from the graves. As epic heroes clashed with the worm god itself in distant dark caverns, Sassarine fell under siege. Worm-infested hordes poured through the shattered wards, choking the streets in ichor and decay. U5, blood brothers forged in Sassarine's twisting alleys and mist-choked mangroves, stood as the last unyielding wall against that tide. The hulking hobgoblin warlock hurling his crackling eldritch bolts that seared through the writhing spawn. The dwarf cleric roaring divine fury while hammering foes with a glowing warhammer that rang like struck iron. The human warrior wizard dancing between slashes and arcane bursts as the holy warrior's radiant blade cleaved undead in sweeping arcs of holy fire. And the gnome bard, ever pounding a relentless war drum strapped across his chest, its thunderous rhythm shattering fear and fueling every swing and spell with an unbreakable tempo. Through the Wormfall's raging peak, as cauldrons, distant heroes thundered north to shore up your fracturing barnacles, you plunged into the maelstrom. Boulevards ran slick with phosphorescent slime underfoot, the air thick with the wet gurgles and ripping flesh of the infested. You hauled screaming citizens from collapsing doorways, parried languishing tendrils that sprayed venomous ichor, and shattered chitinous horrors with your blades, spells, hammer, and the bard's pounding beat that echoed louder than the screams. Even Varric Vanderborn, the shipping magnate of Iron Will, dangled helpless in a spawn's barbed maw until you stormed in, the hobgoblin's blast scorching its hide while the cleric's hammer cracked its skull and the paladin severed tendril after tendril with bursts of light, all while the gnome's drum rolled a final defiant crescendo. And together you yanked the prosperous merchant free as the creature exploded in a reeking geyser of rot, the man's wide, grateful eyes meeting yours through the swimming carnage. The chaos did not just scar the city, it shattered its chains. The century of a foreign tyrant's corrupt rule crumbled under the onslaught. Nobles seized the breach, purging overseers and smashing iron grips of entrenched oppressive guilds. In the power vacuum, dozens of new, upstart crews now knife for the underworld's scraps, none bolder than those that call themselves the Lotus Dragons, their tattooed enforcers weaving lotus ink webs into noble halls and rigged votes, poised now to crown themselves the king of the shadows. Now, more than a year after the Wormfalls event, evening settles over the merchant district, casting it in bruised and muted purples as you take a seat in a corner booth at the Rusty Pirate. The tavern is filled with the scent of pipe smoke, spilled alcohol, and the salty air brought in by the local privateers. Parrot squawks pierce the roar of dice games and bawdy shanties. A half-orc barkeep slams takers of frothy ale before you, its foam sloshing like a sea surge, while peg-leg sailors swap yarns of ghost ships and lost treasures. Your pouches jingle with honest coin from recent hauls, your blades polished sharply, moods buoyant on victory's afterglow. And then, as you all bask in the arm glow of friends in familiar places, a wiry halfling boy darts through the crush, dodging a tankard of a half-heartedly tossed tankard that passes him by, to thrust a wax-sealed parchment into your grasp. The crisp vellum, scented with jasmine, emblazoned with the Vanderborn swan. Looking at it, a woman's hand, elegant and precise, has scribed a message in a scrawl that indicated that it was probably done in haste. Heroes of the Wormfall, I send you my warmest greetings, trusting this epistle finds you in excellent health. Though we are as yet unacquainted, my family remains eternally indebted to you for the preservation of our lives. I find myself comforted by a most pressing affair. For one, I am convinced your singular talents are supremely suited. I entreat you to attend upon me discreetly at our estate tomorrow evening at the intersection of Festival Street and Blue Skink Lane in the Eastern Merchant District. Time, alas, weighs heavily upon us. Pray, convey your response forthwith to the bearer of this letter. I anticipate our appointment with keenest interest. Yours, in hopeful anticipation, Lavinia Vanderborn. The words hang in the smoky air like drawn cutlasses, glinting with both promise and peril. Do the noble webs of Sasserine begin to unravel once more, threads pulled taut by unseen hands? Do the city elders, scarred from the Wormfall and ever watchful, find themselves in need again of those bold enough to stand against horrors that crawl from shadows and sea. For the Vanderborns are no mere merchants. Their ships slice the waves to distant shores, laden with spices, silks, and whispers from lands beyond the horizon. Could this urgent summons mean that the azure sea itself beckons? Salt spray stinging your face, storms howling across the decks, with islands of forgotten ruin rising from the mist? The tavern's din fades to a distant roar as your eyes meet one another across the scarred table at which you sit. A thrill stirs in your blood, the same electric rush that carried you through last year's Iker-slick streets. Whatever Lavinia's need, it promises more than coin or glory. More high-stakes intrigue in gilded halls, blades flashing under tropical moons, and adventures vast and deep as the ocean's blackest trenches waiting only for you to answer the call. Here, in the bruised purple dusk of the merchant district, the path forks. Will you step into the unknown tomorrow eve? Or let the letter's fire cool on the table? Choice is yours, my friends. And the world itself is holding its breath, awaiting your reply. And that, my dear friends, is where we are going to end tonight's episode and where we will pick up next week as our party member has to decide, or our party, I should say, has to decide. Do they want to venture off to find Miss Lavinia Vanderborn, or will they remain here in the tavern, drinking up ale and enjoying whatever it is they were doing before they were so rudely interrupted by this poor young halfling dispatcher?
Oh.
And that, I think, will be good.
Awesome.
Hopefully you guys will all be back with us next week. Hopefully the dice will be back with us next week. I think they took the week off. I'm not really sure what's going on.
I'll try to roll something higher than a 10.
Yep. If you guys want to come into the game and actually poke and play around, I've never come in and really done much while the game's on pause. I don't know if you guys can, but if there's a time and you guys want to, hey, can you like turn the game on so I can go in there and practice and stuff? I would be more than happy to set up a training ground. Excuse me. A training ground thing. And I just put a bunch of creatures on there and you guys can just go like practice spells and practice attacking and practicing combat. But that is completely up to you. I'm sure you're going to get enough as we go along. But I just want to make sure that you guys know that whatever you need to get yourself comfortable in the VTT and kind of go through, like I said, the hardest ones are typically the spells, especially area of effect spells, because of the way things work. And I'm going to take a look at my modules to figure out why my JBA stuff isn't working, because it's got some really cool spell effects. I mean, I like it. It's just, the Witch Bolt one was kind of cool, but the Bless one and the Shield one, it created this big, huge sort of a thingy around you, this glowing sort of humming sphere around you. And
that's what I was waiting to see what was happening.
Yeah. So the quote unquote music and humming fade away, but the glow stays around you. In this case, it only had the little icon on you saying that you were blessed. So, but yeah. Yes, sir.
I take it we're going to come back fully rested the next time, right?
Yeah. It's going to be a complete reset. So the other thing is make sure you get onto your character sheets and make sure everything's updated the way you want it. Because next week before the game, I'll probably do it Friday during the day. I might do it Thursday. But sometime next week, late next week, I will re-import everybody so you'll have the latest of your character sheet. Again, if you had anything that was for tracking tokens or cantrips, you could just get rid of it, because by then, hopefully, my module will be up and installed. because I don't have to like do it any special way. I could just upload all that stuff into where I want it and be good to go. So, anywho, guys, got any questions for me?
I don't have a question, but I'd like to point out that there's a Ferris wheel on the market square.
Where?
Look at the merchant district at north end where the market is. That's a Ferris wheel sitting right there.
Oh shit!
Where like somebody's going to have to click it
So
on
it's
the
in
map.
the northern quarter of the map.
Okay. See Parrot Island.
Yeah.
Okay, the market district is right south of that, and then the big market area right there. There's a Ferris wheel sitting in the middle of there.
Let me
I
see.
thought this was it over here. That might be a Coliseum.
Yeah, I see all of that. I don't see the Ferris wheel. Oh, wait, hang on. No, that wasn't it.
I'm pinging.
Oh, that is. I guess it does kind of look like a Ferris wheel, huh? That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
Oh shit!
That's pretty dope. I like it. I didn't even notice that. Now we know. See? And that's the other thing too. I sent some information to
It's Goblin Run.
Yeah.
They run like hamsters to make a turn.
So I sent some information for Edelbrock and his character. He found a place where he thought his backstory was really well in the city. I sent the guide out. If you guys haven't taken a look, it does describe each different district. Now, in my game, if depending upon if you were from some district here, you get different ability. I don't do that. I just gave it to you guys for background stuff. So if there is a location or something that you would like a little more detail on to kind of like, hey, for example, Edelbrock picked this location. He says, hey, this is what I think. I think I would know about this place and they would know me. And I would just want, can you give me some information to work with? So quote unquote, Edelbrock now has contacts in that area. You guys can do the same thing if you want. I won't guarantee that a lot of it will ever come into play, but if it does come into play, like, hey, I need to get some information. Let me go ask, I was really good friends with this guy that worked down in the docks. Let me go see if he may know anything. And you know what I mean? So stuff like that. So I would like for you guys, as much as you feel comfortable, to immerse yourselves in this whole adventure as it goes on. But again, I am of the belief that it's my job to present the story, and you guys go act it out. And I just sort of enjoy doing that. So as much or as little detail as you guys want, you just let me know and we'll make sure that it happens. In the meantime, what's that, sir?
If anybody's curious, I made a note on the map where I live.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, and I won't remove the notes, but sometimes things get deleted. So, but anyway,
That's where it is.
Yeah, I am going to figure out who we want to. So if you've ever watched a stream before, at the end of every stream we go raid somebody. It's not like we're a big time group or anything like that. We usually end up with anywhere from 5 to 15 people raiding somebody else. But I'm going to figure out who we want to raid. Let's go to Anna Meyer. If you guys have never met her, she's the one that she does this amazing World of Greyhawk map. It is apt. Go to, I think it's Anna Meyer. It's not AnnaMeyer.com. It's Anna Meyer something else. Hang on, let me see. Maybe it is Anna Meyer. Yep, AnnaBMeyer.com. Need to go. ANNABMEYER. Anna B. Meyer. Go check it out. She does amazing. Like if you look on the stream where I've got the thing up, you can see. Let me go back one, just really quick, so you can see. She did the heraldry and stuff that I use. So if you, let me go back to the player's view. Here's one. So if you see like the heraldry on the left and that I've got at the top, by the way, that heraldry at the top, you guys all know because that's the Scarlet Brotherhood. That's the bad guys. That's like the slave raiders. That's their borders or their colors. The one on the bottom left is the city of Sassarine. That's its crest. So she does a lot of cool stuff like that for like deities and for all that. But anyway, go check her out. She's like a super, super cool person. But we're going to raid her. because we can. And I'd appreciate if you guys would kind of hang out with us as we go over there. And no requirement for you to stay there, but I do hope that you'll hang around until we can get over there and tell Anna hello. Not sure what she's doing. Probably some kind of a mapping, but yeah, we're going to bounce over there. And looks like we're going to get a whopping, like, just a few people. I like it. That's okay. We'll bounce over there anyway. Look, it's weird. It shows we have a whole bunch of people, but only like a few of them are going over there. But that's okay. We're going to raid now. We will see you next Friday unless something happens, but I don't think it will. But just remember, folks, that in a world you can be anything you want. All we ask is that you be kind. We will see you next time.
Thank you.
See you guys.
All right, y'all. See you.
Okay, Agora Quest, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thanks for the raid.
Yeah. Hello, welcome. Yeah, I'm sitting
Yeah, we
working
just
in
tapped
World
over on
Machine, and it
Twitch.
goes.
On the TV. Looks like
The
we all
result
jumped in there.
becomes good
Yeah.
eventually, but yeah, but it's hard to get there. So
That's
yeah.
fun.
Where's
I
my
like my
map
dwarf's
down,
attitude.
Uh-oh.
Fucking pointy-eared goblin.
Damn.
Fucking human can't hit
Yeah,
a
I'm
wall.
working on it. Yep. I'm not even sure which map we're talking about. So yeah.
Well, I have a
Uh-oh.
sailor
I can't
background,
afford you.
and I was going to try to
Sorry.
put something
Yeah.
together with the docks
Why
myself
that
when you brought that
expensive?
up.
Yep. Any map
I
will
was
do.
really
Okay.
thinking about that.
Yeah.
Here's my printout. Yep. Oh, I got it here too. I actually printed 2 of these, one for John and myself for the player's guide.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but for me, it's a lot easier to read paper than it is.
Yeah. So much easier.